11th, and if you have checked the time, we are on just a little early. I don't know. Did we make a mistake?
We're a little late, but we are a little early.
Yeah, there you go.
We're not as early as we would have been.
But here we are on Piper Peach Radio. Joining me, Mike Ellison, is Taylor Arant and Dollar Bill. Good morning, everybody.
Ooh, good morning.
I feel like it's a lot earlier, not just a little earlier. For some reason, that 1 hour makes a big difference.
Yeah,
It's like daylight savings time. It takes me 2 weeks to get over that 1 hour change either way.
Oh, I know.
That's true.
And so
That's a
this
good point.
is an hour
That's
change.
terrible.
Yeah. So now 3 hours of morning mayhem.
Woohoo! I'm only going to be here for two and a quarter. 2 3/4.
Today?
Yeah.
Today, you're just going to
okay.
check out a little early, you think?
Yep.
So you're going to
You
leave me
didn't go to bed at all last night, did you?
Not at all.
She stayed up all night long.
Yep.
And why was this?
Because I'm a procrastinator.
Well, you know what? You and I have a lot in common because I'm a bad procrastinator as well. I usually I tell people I work better as a procrastinator because if I do it early, I'll just I'm not really into it and I'll piddle with it. And then I still end up last minute finishing everything. So it's stupid to say I started early because I really don't. But when I do procrastinate, then when I do it, I'm under panic, last minute deadline. So I tend to work better.
Me too.
Because I'm focused, I'm not ADD and all that stuff. Your problem is volume.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had way too many.
Like a lot of things going on up there.
Yes. I had 11 memory books I had to have done. Well,
So, tell me now what
10.
you said of memory books. I'm old. When I was coming up, we made popsicle stick things and those little pot holders with those strings. I don't know what a memory book is. What is that?
Now, my kids did make those, and now I'm putting all those in a scrapbook with pictures.
So it's a yearly compilation of everything for the year they've done for the year. Now, is it all like one book that all the kids get that kind of share everything, or is it to that individual student?
No, it's all separate books. I have 11 books, but I have 2 kids that came halfway through the year, so I'm counting it as 10.
So you can do
It's
theirs.
like 2 halves.
You can get theirs done.
But I still haven't. I don't know why I didn't get theirs done first.
I
started with the kids that didn't miss a single day.
That's
And
the hardest one.
My idea behind that was to get it done. That way I'd have a guide because they're twins. First, I wanted them to be exactly alike because I didn't want one to be better than the other.
Right, they had to be identical or at least equal.
They're the only 2 that their mom's going to sit down and compare.
Equal, right, yeah. How will she know the difference?
I really don't know.
Mothers tend to know.
I figured it out too.
Really? You can tell them apart? I mean, you can tell which one's which?
Yeah.
after spending so much time
And
with
one of
them.
them lies and will tell stories and say that she's the other one. And I'm like, no, you're not.
One of them lies?
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be me if I was a twin. I could lie like a dog.
And then I'll ask the other one, and she's like, no, I'm this one. And I'm like, I know.
I love it.
But no, I did theirs first because my thinking behind that was I wanted them to be the same. They hadn't missed any events. So if anybody did help me with the books, we would have 2 to go by to make the other ones look like that.
That's
Because
a good
they were
idea.
there for all events. But my mom did help me, and we did that. But
All night long?
it's just, no, not tonight. She didn't. She helped me a couple
Now,
nights
when do
ago.
they do?
Well, the last day is Wednesday.
Oh, my God.
I wanted them to be done today.
Did you have
'Cause
two?
our
You
party's
have 2 done
today.
now? You have the twins
I actually
done?
have 5 done.
Oh, well then, hey, you got it, man.
How many more you got to
about
go?
5 and a half.
So you got like 5 to go? Is that
5
what
to
you
go.
said? Yeah.
But if you count
Halfway
the 2,
there, Bill. I think she can make it.
but
That's
if
halfway.
you count the 2 that are only half of your kids, then I have 4.
Okay. Well, that's doable. If you can have 5 done now,
Yeah.
and basically in one night,
I know.
then you ought to be able to knock out the other 5 since you have all day after you nap, and
Yeah.
tonight, all night, tomorrow after you nap.
Yeah. So,
Have you
I'm
got
just
to go
gonna-
to school today?
yeah.
What time? Right after you leave here?
I have to be there at 8.
That's why
Holy-
she's leaving.
that's why you leave a little
half hour
early.
early
Yeah.
today. Yeah.
Holy cow! You have got. What time does school out?
Oh, we get out at 12.
Okay, well that helps.
Yeah. And my son stays in aftercare, so I'm go home and take a nap.
So you have a few minutes to yourself there.
Yeah.
Get
Now here's the problem.
recharged
What
up.
kind of nap you going to take? You're going to take one of those 20-minute power naps, 2-hour I can't wake up naps, or 4 hours and get up from just in time to make dinner and then go back to bed.
Well, if I do the 4-hour nap, then Decent will be left at school.
Good point.
So I'll probably won't take a nap.
You're not, yeah. Not
I'll
one.
probably work on memory
You know,
books.
everybody talks about you should take. It's good to take a power nap, and they should never last more than 20 minutes. I've never taken a 20-minute nap that did me much good.
I haven't either.
I've never. I don't
The
even know
only
what
time
that
that
means.
I ever have is
I
when
don't
I was
even-
working
Right.
night shift.
I understand the theory, but I don't understand what that really means.
Yeah,
A
you're
power
right.
nap.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 20 minutes. I don't think
I
so.
don't think during the day they're worth anything. But when you work night shift and you go sleep in your car, that's the best sleep you'll ever get.
It is.
That 20 minutes in your car on your lunch break.
True.
Listen,
My
I
gosh,
had
there
a
ain't better sleep.
great 20-minute nap one time at a red light on Greenspanks Highway. I did. I felt.
Oh,
You
Green
slept right
Springs.
through your alarm clock.
We
The
all got
alarm's
some-
honking
I
behind you.
was going home from work. I stayed up all night. We had I'd been up that morning at 3, worked all day, went to a concert, and had to work it that
gosh.
night in Tuscaloosa. So I'd been up since 3, worked all day, drove to Tuscaloosa, emceed a concert, did all that stuff, got in the car, drove back home, got home at like, I don't know, 1 o'clock or something. And I still had show prep and stuff to do. So I didn't go. I just took a shower to refresh and worked and then drove to work. So I get off at about 11 o'clock in the morning and I'm driving home to my Alabaster from Birmingham. And I pull up to the red light right there at Oxmoor Road and Green Springs Highway. And the next thing I know, I'm hearing all these horns honking and a policeman's knocking on my window.
Oh my gosh.
And the scary thing was I'd pulled up to that red light to stop and I went right to sleep and my foot was on the brake and it was still in drive.
Oh my goodness.
That terrified me because if I'd
Yeah.
ever let my foot off the brake.
Right. Absolutely.
So anyway, the police, of course, immediately thought I was drunk.
Yeah,
had
and then
been
you had to
drinking.
say your
Passed
ABCs
out.
So
backwards.
I had to pull over, and the guy. The only thing that saved me was the policeman kind of knew me.
Yeah.
But I told him all my story, and he said, "Well, I've got to assess your." I said, "Well, my problem is I am so uncoordinated, and with my bad legs, I can't do the standard sobriety test because I can't walk toe to toe and bend all that stuff because I'm handicapped that way."
Yeah.
So I said, "I'll blow a breathalyzer. I'll happily do that. Bring one on. Bring it on. I'll puff in it all day." He said, "Well, I don't have one," and the other guys are crying. Just go on. So he let me just go on home. And,
That's a happy ending.
well, it was, except as I was going down I-65,
Oh, gosh.
I kept falling asleep
Yeah.
and drifting and people honking.
This was before lane keeping.
It was. I didn't have.
Right.
I still don't have that because I've got an old. I'm too cheap to buy a new car, so I had to pull over off the
great
interstate, off the
feature.
interstate down near the Shelby County Airport. Pull the seat back, and it took me about an hour nap. Literally 4 miles from my house. I couldn't even make it that far. I was going to kill
Yeah.
somebody else and me too.
yeah.
Then when your brain shuts off, you're done.
Yeah.
That is the toughest things to be driving when
And be
you're
that
when you're
sleepy.
drowsy like that. Oh,
I don't know how. I mean, it was horrible.
It is
and I've
scary.
learned. I used to try to. When I'd come back, I had a girlfriend back in the '70s in Atlanta, so I'd work all day and then drive over to Atlanta, and we'd go out on a date, and then I'd try to get back and go to work.
Oh my gosh.
And in the middle, I was dumb and stupid and 19, whatever.
and
But I would buy soft drinks.
young.
I'd buy soft drinks at the gas station and rub them on my neck and on my face and do all that stuff to try to wake up, sing real loud. Middle of the winter, roll the windows down, freeze to death. I'd still be going to sleep.
I've always
Oh my
heard.
gosh.
I've always heard take your shoes and socks off.
Really?
Keep your feet cool. Yep.
That would make me just
Now I have done
out.
that and I don't know that it's
Did it
really done
work?
anything, but the mental part of it because it was like, well, that's what my friend said. So.
Oh yeah. 'Cause you're
You know,
thinking
that
about
makes
it.
kind of makes
And a
sense
lot of
to
times,
me.
like that was back when I was a real young guy and I didn't have an air conditioner in the car.
Right.
So there's, that.
So you stuck
cooler.
your feet out the window.
No, you didn't stick your feet out the window, but you remember the little vent at
Did
the
you say
bottom.
put your feet out the window?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Cool.
thought you said pee out the window. I thought, how's that going to keep
I mean, I
you
have
awake?
done that now.
That's not,
If we're talking, technical, I'm sorry. I
well, but you have to
misunderstood
go. You can't be over 30 miles an hour. It'll get all over the place. You got to be going slow to do that.
Literally blowback, right?
Right, blowback's hard.
Oh gosh.
Same
But
thing
no,
same thing for puking.
Bill, you remember
my
cars used to
gosh.
have the little vent in the bottom at the feet?
Right,
At your
at the
We
feet?
feet.
all know what y'all called it.
Yep. What? What do
I
we
can't
call it?
say it. We'll get kicked
I
off.
just call it, I don't know.
What?
It was a lower vent. I
Do
don't
we have a
know.
weird name for
Oh,
that?
Bailey does.
Oh, he does.
He
Yeah.
does. Well, he's a pervert.
Well,
Yes.
here, write it down right here, and I'll decide if I want to say it.
Yes.
Okay.
'Cause
Oh, well, we're getting stopped.
Oh, we're
Oh,
going to take a break?
I think we're
Okay,
fixing
well,
it.
tell us during the break, because I want to know, too.
Is he waving us off?
Yeah,
You're
he
the
said we're not doing
dirty-minded
that.
one of all of us.
It's my husband. It's
You
his
married
fault.
him. You married him.
I know.
A little bit of responsibility
Well,
there.
talk about your
guess.
well,
Like,
talk
you know,
about
people-
your husband in a minute if you
Yeah.
would like to.
I mean, it's
It'd
like,
Sure
be
can.
okay.
you know, people tell my wife, you married him.
Yeah.
With a little sympathetic look on their face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My wife has been handed a sympathy card and $10 before.
Oh,
I'm so
I've never
sorry.
been handed $10.
Well, you're still young.
Well,
Wait till Bailey's my age.
Yeah.
If you hadn't killed him by then.
yeah.
That's
he's-
not good pay, though.
If
Well-
100
All
people
that-
do it.
Well, yeah.
Think about it though. It could have been 30 years ago too.
That's
$10
true.
would be a little bit. That gets you two
Yeah,
fast
it'd have
food
been like
meals.
20 now.
There or more.
Yeah.
That's
Or
right.
Yeah.
40.
Listen, I was telling Friday, when I got up Friday morning to come work here, I'm up in Columbiana, and I looked down, and that light was on and telling me I was that empty. I just hadn't paid attention. So, you don't know whether you got 1 mile or 20 to go. So I went right to the gas station. When I pulled in yet Friday morning here, I had at 6 o'clock, I had already spent $100, and all I bought was 3 things: a hoo-hoo or whatever little snack cake,
Yeah.
a drink, and a tank of gas, and I spent $100.
Gosh.
It was horrible.
Dropped a Benjamin.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, well, the gas was like almost $90. I probably spent $96, but that's close enough to $100 for me to
Boy,
say
that's
that.
I think you could call that 100.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's 6:15 here on the Piper Peach Radio Morning Mayhem
We're going to go decide if we can say what I was thinking on break.
with
Yeah, I
Bill
want to
and
hear.
Look,
Taylor and me.
Brian is late this morning.
Uh-oh.
15
Well,
minutes late.
glad he's on, but we're broadcasting live from the Clanton Track Studio. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Update on the forecast for today. Partly sunny, a high of 77. Only a 20% chance of rain. Tonight's low 54. Sunny on Tuesday, a high of 81. 83 on Wednesday. At your weather update, I'm meteorologist JP Dice right here on Piper Peach Radio.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984.
Those
We're back.
wagons. Oh, blah, 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 blah. We are back. Here we are, 6:17. Morning Mayhem. Taylor
And we
and
found
Mike
out what your
and
husband
Bill.
calls that little vent at the bottom.
Yep.
And it is the manticular vent.
That's right. I don't know anything
Boy,
about that. None of my cars have ever had that
I got to
before.
Google
He
that,
doesn't
y'all.
call
I
it
don't know what the heck
manticular,
he's
but I
talking
did
about.
just to make it nicer.
Yeah, none of my cars have ever had that. So, I mean, I
Oh,
guess that's what
man.
it is. Because, I mean, I've never had one.
See if I can
I
get
guess
to
you
it.
have it.
Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
Ooh, I can't tell you what I just thought we could call it for women. So
Well, we're going to go break again real quick. I'm just like...
well, this
Here,
was,
write
a,
it
this
down,
was
Bill.
a quick run of a morning show. We made it 18 minutes before we were banned.
Oh, my
Yeah,
gosh.
the new show here in our first hour. Hey, I want to thank a couple of our sponsors, Bill. It's Chilton Mobile Home Supply,
Oh, yeah.
Central Alabama Wellness.
Yeah.
You come down 65 when you come here, or do you get on 31 sometimes?
No, I come 145, from
Yeah.
from Columbiana.
Yep.
And come straight in by the Toyota and place and the Peach
Yep,
tank.
the water
and
tower.
Come
Yep.
on down that way.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes come down 65. I used to come down 65 when I lived in Alabaster.
Oh, I thought you still lived there. When you
Now,
said
you
that
know,
earlier.
I moved to Columbiana in September.
Okay, that's a great place out there. Our daughter got married a couple months ago at the Henley House, between Columbiana and
Oh, yeah.
what is that, Shelby?
Shelby.
Yes, out that way. You'd said you'd been to something out there. I thought I remembered. I thought Bill
Now,
might
that's not
remember
the
too.
castle, is it?
No,
One
it's
that-
not a castle. I know that castle too, but no, it is not the castle.
I think that guy passed away, I think.
Oh, really?
Really?
I didn't
That
know
owned the
that.
castle right by the post office
That's
there
right.
in
There's
Shelby.
a bunch of stores,
Yeah.
basically downtown Shelby.
Yeah.
Is there such
Yeah,
as
there's
that?
2 gas stations there, man. It's bustling. And a sandwich shop.
That's right.
2 gas stations and a sandwich
Hey, you
shop.
can get fresh bait if you need it,
You
worms
can,
or
and I have. Well, you can also go to
crickets.
Elvis's place. The guy that owns one of those there's a Valero, and then the one across the street is owned by a guy whose name is Elvis.
Elvis.
And he owns about 5 service stations. He's like the magnate of service stations in South Shelby County. And he owns that one. He owns one called Spring Creek Grocery over closer to the lake. And he just built this mega gas station up there in Calera, right as you start down. What is the highway that goes to the county dump? Is that 7? No, not 70. But anyway, that main road that goes between Columbiana and Calera that has the dump on it and the dance place. He built this mega gas station there that's got a restaurant in it and all this stuff. It's really nice. Elvis.
I had a friend named Elvis growing up. Elvis
Did you really?
Blaylock. Yeah, the only Elvis I ever knew.
Yeah, that's
Personally.
amazing. There aren't many
Yep.
Elvis. I mean, Elvis was the singer, was the only Elvis I knew of for years.
Yeah, actually, I did know a pastor named Elvis.
Did you?
Yep, well, back
gosh.
many years ago.
Have you seen that conspiracy theory of the pastor in Tennessee that they're claiming is Elvis?
No, I haven't.
They did what?
They're claiming that he's Elvis.
They did that with a singer named Orion. You
Really?
probably don't remember this, but back in the right after Elvis died, this guy just kind of came out of nowhere who sounded amazingly like Elvis, and you never saw what he looked like because he wore like a Lone Ranger mask
Oh my gosh.
everywhere, and his name was Orion.
Orion.
And you can look it up, Google it. It's amazing. The conspiracy theories with him were powerful for a
Yeah.
long time.
That's how these are too with that preacher. He's from Tennessee. I can't think of what his name is.
Well, goodness, he'd be.
He'd be 100 years old now.
Yeah.
He would be close to 100 right
Yeah,
now.
he would.
That was like 76 or 78, something like that, when he died, and it was only.
42 or something.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I think that
I
was
think
42.
he was born in like 46 or 44 or something like that, 1945. I don't know.
I learned at that songwriter and arts festival that he never wrote any of his own songs.
No.
Every song he sang was somebody else's, Kentucky Rain, all of them. They were somebody else wrote them.
We were talking about that, if you recall, and I told you that I had been to a Elvis impersonation, or
Yeah.
not impersonation, but a whatever. Well, maybe it
Tribute?
is impersonator. I guess that's the
think it
right
is.
word. It was just they were singing. It was a group. Several different Elvises came out and sang, and they all had one song they did together. I forget which one it was, but they had all performed earlier, and kind of came back on the stage.
And
I
all
was
did a
I
group
think he's
Elvis.
the best one. That was over in Tupelo, which is where he
yeah.
was born.
That's his home.
Yeah, and you were talking about you went through or saw the museum.
Yeah.
I went
you were
to
over
his
there.
home.
Yeah, me too. It took about
little
30
tiny
seconds.
little dog trot.
That's exactly right. A little 30 seconds.
Have you been to Memphis? Have you gone to
Graceland?
Graceland?
I've been right outside of it, but I've never actually toured
It's an
it.
amazing tour.
I'm
And
sure.
what kills me is, I always thought as a kid that, of course, Elvis was the biggest thing in the.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
old enough that my first record I was ever given as a child, I was about 5 years old, got my first little record player because everything was vinyl, and my 45 was Teddy Bear.
No.
Elvis Presley's Teddy Bear. And so when I didn't go to Graceland until I was in my 40s, I guess, or maybe 30s or it's my 40s. And I thought it'd be this mansion. And you go up and it's a house.
It is.
It's like your friend, like the house your friend lived in when you were in high school. I mean,
Kind of gaudy looking.
it was. I mean, he put that fancy gate with the musical notes and all. But the house itself is just a 2-story modest
It is.
home. But now you go in and he's got the jungle room, and then he's got that add-on building that was a recording studio and the trophy room and all that.
Right.
It does get pretty gaudy.
It goes back there for a ways.
But
so I
it
understand.
was amazing. I mean, I don't know why I thought that Graceland would just be what we consider a mansion.
Yeah.
And
like
you can
the
go
White
to
House of the South.
yeah, or you go to you can go up to Greystone in Birmingham, and you got these $3 million, $5 million homes, and his is nothing like that.
No, nothing. It's just an ordinary
House.
of 60 style,
House.
like a ranch style
Yeah,
house.
it is.
It really is.
Two
It's really
stories, but
nothing.
And you
nothing
upstairs,
fancy.
Vernon lived for a long time. His dad, and I remember when I went through the tour of the Graceland, you couldn't go up the steps because Vernon was still living up there.
They lived up
Yeah.
there.
His dad. So I mean, it
remember
was
hearing that.
crazy. He had an aunt that lived up there, I think, too.
But
weird.
think about his house where he was born and raised, and then that would be a mansion
It
to a
was
guy like that.
an
wouldn't it,
amazing place because it had a big yard. That little dog trot doesn't even have a yard. You just comes pretty much off the road. You walked up on the porch and into the house and went through the house, and you're out the back, and there was the alley. It was nothing. So you're right. Relatively speaking, he built a fabulous mansion for himself.
Did you ever go through the museum in Tupelo? You did that, didn't you?
We didn't go through the inside museum, but they had like a little garden area. We walked through
okay.
there. There were so many people over there, I guess because the concert.
Did you walk up by the chapel?
We did
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So I mean, they have little things there
Yeah.
on site.
the little plaques.
Yeah.
Yeah, we looked at all those.
Very nice. Very nice.
And remember, he was a twin, and his twin is buried in, I think, in Tupelo.
Yeah.
Because he had an identical twin, I guess. I don't know if it's identical, but he had a twin that was born that died.
Yeah.
So, and isn't there something about there was some conspiracy because his name is Elvis Aaron Presley, and then they misspelled his name on the tombstone or something.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah.
And so they're
Left
thinking
out
that
one of
that
the
was a way
A's.
to say that's really not Elvis
Yeah.
Presley buried there, that he faked that. Now I went
That was a whole thing too.
when I was working at ZZK, I took a group of people down to New Orleans in a bus. We had a contest, and we took, we had 15 winners, so we had 30 people on this bus. We took them down for the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans one year. So
Did y'all see the rolling crew of Elvis?
no, but the guy that drove my bus, I forgot his name, but his girlfriend was with him, and he was the guy that drove the bus of all of us down there. His name, I forgot his name. Her name was Pookie. I just remember he kept calling her Pookie.
It's kind of hard to
He
forget
was
that.
supposedly, he claimed to be one of the 3 paramedics that found Elvis dead on the toilet because he was a paramedic in Memphis back then. And he had a lot of detail about stuff. I kind of think it's true.
Really?
But he talked about how they got the call and went to Graceland and found him slumped over in the floor on the toilet
Yeah.
and dead. And he had some pretty amazing details about it. So I don't know.
Weird. I thought you were gonna say you saw the rolling crew of Elvis.
No, I didn't see those guys. It wasn't Mardi Gras season. It was New Year's Eve or
Yeah.
New Year's, because that the Sugar Bowl used to always be on New Year. I guess it's still on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
But it was weird. We went down there for the game, and I had 2 buddies with me, my buddy Tom and my buddy Raymond, because I was the only one from the station. I was the chaperone.
Oh, gosh.
And so I got them to go with me because I was
think they were
divorced.
quotations go on each end of that
There
shotgun
was.
on there, wasn't it,
Shepherd.
Bill? Okay.
So we only had a pair of tickets. I had a pair of tickets in case I wanted to take my wife. Well, I was divorced at the time, or just had gone through one. So I only had 2 tickets, and there were 3 of us. So we decided, we were driving really slow down Bourbon Street or downtown, whatever, and we saw these 2 Alabama students. We were playing the Hurricanes.
Miami.
And
Yeah.
so we saw these 2 Alabama guys, and they had a sign that said, "Need tickets." So I told Pookie's boyfriend, pull over real quick, because we were just creeping. And I opened the door of the bus, and I said, "You need tickets?" And they came running up, and they said, "Yeah, but how much? We don't have much money. We'll take anything, any tickets, wherever they are, but we don't have much money." I said, "Here's 2 free ones, good ones too." Mm-hmm. They about died. They really did. They literally about had strokes and passed out. So I gave them 2 good tickets for them and let them go. That's when my buddies, me and Raymond and Tom, sat on the bus out from the stadium in the parking lot with Pookie and the driver while we watched the game on TV, because we had a TV. Yeah, we had a TV. So we sat out there, and he told us all these stories about being a paramedic in Memphis, because he also had some, as you can imagine, Memphis has some pretty sketchy parts of town, especially down there near Beale Street and all that. And he had seen some pretty harrowing stuff as a paramedic. So we heard, we won the game, which was nice, but I had more fun listening to Pookie's boyfriend's stories. So
That is really neat.
I wish I could remember his name. I just remember Pookie.
That's funny you say Pookie. There's a man that gave a speech at Bailey's graduation Saturday. His name was Pookie.
And this was down in Montgomery?
Yeah.
And his name was Pookie?
His name was Pookie.
I know that was his nickname for her, but his name was Pookie.
I guess so. That's what they called him.
I imagined it was a nickname. Come on. His name was probably Xavier or something.
His name might have been something like Xavier, and nobody wants to be called Xavier.
Yeah. That's how Pico is. He don't want to be William. He changed it Pico.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, it is 6:30. Oh man, we're 30 minutes into this first early hour. This is amazing. Tell all your friends that it goes from 6 to 9 now. It's 3 hours of morning mayhem, and pass the word.
Yeah.
Because by God, they don't want to get up every morning this early for nothing.
I know. Text your friends, wake them up. It's about time to get up anyway.
Yeah, it is. Just don't wake up my wife. She critiques the show
Not
live
everybody-
on the phone
You
while I'm
mean,
on.
you mean nobody else's spouse got up and fixed him breakfast before he left for work this morning? I just thought that was standard.
Bill brought me breakfast.
I'm so spoiled.
I bought us all breakfast. You
I
can have
know,
breakfast.
but
What a guy.
you know what I mean. Before I left, I had breakfast.
Oh, you did
prepared
before
for
you
me.
left the house this morning?
You
My
had your-
wife does that.
You had your fist
She's
size protein.
She is
your cup
like
of vegetables.
You have to.
Okay, I gotta tell you about
I just got that. That was good.
I gotta tell you about my experience with
breakfast?
early breakfast when I married Mary. Hold on. 6:31 is our time. 29 away from 7 o'clock. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with more Morning Mayhem. Stay with us.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
We're back.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, so
Morning, y'all.
I'd been married. I got divorced. I was in radio. And somehow I got introduced to my wife, my current wife, that she's been my wife now for 30 years almost. Wonderful, Mary. She's a banker. And a UPS driver introduced us. She had just gotten divorced. I've been divorced for years. He said, I know a woman you need to take out on a date. I think you all get along. I said, who is it? And he told me. I said, she's married. He said, not anymore. So I said, okay, well, maybe so. So we went out on a date, and it was horrible. We both hated it. She got out of the radio station. I took her out in the van. That tells you. Then she,
cool.
when the date was over, she just got out and walked to her. She didn't even say goodnight hardly. She just got out, went, said goodnight, and walked to her door and went in. I thought, this didn't end well. But I went back and tried a second time. And we went out to eat, and it went well. And so we just started dating, and then 3 years later, so we got married. So, we had never, I'm old school. We didn't live together till we were married. We went out on honeymoon, and when I came back from the honeymoon is when I moved all my stuff to her house. I'd moved a few things, but first time we'd ever lived together was after we were married, So we didn't know what it was like she didn't know what it was like to be married to a guy that gets up at 3 a.m. every morning just about. So I never expected any wife of mine to get up and do anything that early. She didn't have to be at work till like 7 o'clock. So she got up at maybe 5 or 6, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm getting up at 3. So that first, we came back from honeymoon on like a Thursday or Friday, had the weekend together, stuff. So I get up my first morning, go back to work. It's a Monday, and I got to get up at 3. And I got up at 3 to go get in the shower, and I smelled bacon and coffee. And of course, I'd been a single guy for years at that point. I'd been divorced 8 years or so. And so, I lived like a typical bachelor. I would get up, take a shower, and then stop on the way in to get a ho-ho and a Coke or something, to work, or Mountain Dew, whatever. So I come out of the shower and I go in there and there's a feast on the table. There is homemade biscuits and gravy, eggs, bacon, sausage. It was like a cornucopia of joy. I could hear angels going, woo,
You had walked
all
into
this
the Cracker
food.
Barrel.
It was better than Cracker. It was at least, Cracker Barrel, I always say that's mediocre food served luke cold.
Yeah.
This was excellent food, hot.
Oh.
So I sat and I had about 20 minutes to sit and I could eat and talk to her. And I said, oh, this is amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You don't have to do this. Well, I shouldn't have said that because she took it to heart. Anyway, so I go to work and I'm telling everybody, I've got it made. I got up this morning to a full breakfast. I hadn't had that since I lived at home with my mama in high school, So I thought it was just amazing. So Tuesday morning, got up with kind of happy, because like, oh boy, and I could smell the bacon and coffee. I got in the shower, came running in there, and she had toast, bacon, eggs, and coffee. So Wednesday morning I got up, she had toast, bacon, and coffee. Thursday morning, toast. And never saw another thing again. She never got up again. Yeah, she realized she got up at 3. Actually, she got up at like 2:30 so she could be fixing breakfast.
Yeah.
And then she had to go to work at the bank at 7 or whatever, and then stay there till 5 and 6 o'clock, So it was an incredibly long day for her. And the first day was rough. The second day was rougher. The third day was horrible. I never saw day 5 of breakfast. So and I never did it. As a matter of fact, for the last 20-something years that we've been married, at night, I take the shirt and clothes and stuff I'm going to wear, and I'd put it out in our other house. I'd put it in the kitchen because our bedroom kind of pretty much came out into the kitchen one way or the dining room the other. I'd put it on the dining room table or in the kitchen in a bar chair, my clothes. So when I got out of the shower, I could tippy-toe through the room and not turn on any lights, and I'd go dress in the kitchen or the bath, because, I didn't want to bother.
Just being courteous.
Well, I try to be. I mean,
that's right.
I don't expect. This is a crazy job. Broadcasting is an odd job, and it does mean you have to get up early if you do the morning show, and that doesn't mean you always go to bed early because you got things you got to do. If you got to cover an event, go to a concert, whatever,
like a baseball game or something.
Baseball games,
right.
I mean, everything. So that was my tease. So I still think I should sue her for bait and switch.
Not sure it's the same lady.
A free trial.
Do what?
That was just a free trial for breakfast.
Well, I got the free trial, but that free trial ran out.
Yeah, it's back to cosmic brownies.
28 years ago.
10-day money back guarantee. I mean,
well, that's her guarantee to be kind of like the one you see on the back of a garbage truck that says satisfaction guaranteed or double your garbage back. It doesn't do you much good.
Oh gosh. Well, speaking of baseball, Mike, do you have any sports for us today?
I have some baseball. I've talked. I mentioned a second ago about working the baseball game. Saturday was Game 3 of the best of 3 series between the Maplesville Red Devils and it was Fayetteville Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Fayetteville Wolves.
Somewhere near Sylacauga, I think.
Yeah, I think
somewhere over that way.
Yeah.
But it was hosted by Maplesville. They had split the first 2 games, and it looked like Maplesville was going to really take. They busted out of the gates. This pitcher for Fayetteville, I thought 2 or 3 times they were going to pull him, but they didn't. They stuck with him, and after the 4th inning, I think Maplesville got 1 hit.
Oh man,
he was that good.
Shut them down. Maplesville had 5-1. It started the 6th inning. Bless their hearts, because it was such a. The crowd, Maplesville, if you've ever been over there.
They support their people.
Well, they just won the football
Did they have
championship.
the drill horns?
I don't guess I remember
No,
that.
air horns.
I want the drill horn.
No, me too.
I know that official game time was supposed to be 4:00, but it wasn't.
How come?
No.
Extra
Because
innings in the earlier games?
I scrambled all day just so I could get there because he let me know about 9:30 or 10 maybe that he needed me.
He's such a slave driver.
I know, it's like hard to say no, But I got over there. It was like 3:50, and I was like, all right, I got 10 minutes. And I'm coming up, and the national anthem's playing. I thought, well, it's a little earlier than normal, I thought.
You're like,
Well, yeah,
right?
something almost like that. And when I fell, it was real bad.
Oh,
No, I'm
man.
kidding. But they started the game at like 3:51. I mean, I literally missed the first, 5 or 6 pitches.
Why'd they start it early? Just
I
because
have
they
no
could?
idea.
Shame.
I mean, normally you might start late because earlier games win extra innings or something.
Yeah.
That's right.
But most people never start early because you don't know if you say you're going to start the game at 4. People are getting there to watch the kids play. They usually wouldn't start early.
I'm
Yeah.
sure I wasn't the only one because there was 6 or 7 cars pulling in the same time I
Right.
did. So there was a lot of folks getting there 10 minutes early, But anyway, it was a great game. Maplesville got up. They were down. Actually, got down 1-0 in the top of the first, but then they got 3 in the first, and then they got 2 in the third. I think it was. And it looked like it was 5-1, and it looked like, boy, it was just cooking, But momentum, how it comes in,
Yeah,
and
it
it
can come and
just
go.
can, and it just took them out. The first pitch of the 6th inning, this pitcher from Maplesville had only given up 2 hits up to that point. And the first pitch, this guy jacked one about 350 over the left field fence.
Oh man.
And it just made it 5-2. Well, it's just 5-2. Well, of course, their crowd went crazy. I got to hand it to them. They probably had couple hundred people over there, and Maplesville probably had 500. I mean, it was a big crowd
Wow.
all around. It looked like
Packed house.
in the outfield. You know, they were all
Yeah.
tailgating, sitting in their
I love
pickups,
games
had
like
their
that.
had their seats in their pickups. It was great. But they came back. They got 4 runs that inning to tie it. And then in the top of the 7th, another guy hit a home run. And then again, momentum and Mapleville just could not get it going.
Couldn't come
But
back.
the same pitcher for Fayetteville, I forget the guy's name, Goins, I want to say Carter, maybe Goins. But what an outstanding performance. He gave up those 5 runs early, and then for 4 innings, he's just shut them down.
Just got it together.
He got it together. He had a curveball bill that break 3 feet,
Really?
and he could throw it for a strike.
Well, you know, the
So
thing
he would
is,
freeze the batter, and the ball come across the plate.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, "Oh man!"
the
And they
thing
were
is,
taking
you know, with
wild
a,
looking
with a
cuts
pitcher
at
like
it.
that psychologically, when you get beat up like that right at first, or you get behind, it's hard for a lot of pitchers to get over that psychologically and come back strong.
That's why
Yeah.
I mean,
That's amazing.
and I don't think he looked.
think
Well, of course, they all look really young, so I don't know
Yeah.
what year he was. I didn't have any. They didn't give us any information, and I didn't get there in time to get it. But pregame, but it was exciting. The crowd was really into it. But the way that momentum turned, and but you got to hand it to them. They were all. There was no bad blood. There was a good collision at second base, but the guys got up and literally rubbed dirt on it, and they were all right, you know. But or at least they played. They both continued playing, but the field was wet, so this guy slid into second. And he hit the second baseman, but he also basically stopped because you hit that kind of mud almost. That's not like sliding on, crushed rock.
No, I like the mud better, except you slide better.
Well, if it's really wet,
Oh,
but this
yeah.
wasn't that wet. They had
It
dried
was
the
just
field
sticky
out.
mud.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a little sticky.
Yeah,
Sticky
it
mud.
had rained, That's why the game had gotten pushed back from a 1 o'clock start to 4. Maybe that's why they started 9 minutes early. But
We're tired of waiting.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm always impressed with Maplesville. You know, they won. We were there the night one of their games near the end of the season, and that community and all of the community. It's amazing when Maplesville was doing so good in football. People from all over, from Thorsby and Jemison and here, would go down there and support them because it was like, we've already kind of done our season, but you guys got a chance to go all the way, and they did.
Well, I don't know if you know about the history over there at Maplesville,
No.
all of it, but Jim Hubbard was the coach that kind of put them on the map, or at least the best far back as I know. Could have been another one before that, but I believe it was him. And then his son Brent Hubbard came in, and he won 3 championships in a row, if I recall,
Wow.
back in the late '90s. I mean, I don't know what it is in the water over there, or just the fact that I think those coaches, they kind of scout the youth programs that are in that area. And there's an area over there that the kids can either go to Jemison or Maplesville, and they really recruit that area very, very well over there. I'm trying to remember the Campbell community, I think it is, out there by Runway Events, a little airport out there.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you've ever seen that.
That's a nice little
It is.
event space.
It is a nice space.
Yeah.
But they came back. Fayetteville came back, won the game 7-5. It's one of those things where I said on the air, we said on the air, hold your heads high because you really gave a great effort. You represented the county and your school really well. And but boy, that was so close. They were just so close to advancing, and they could taste it, But
Well, at one point,
he played
what, being
7
5
innings,
to nothing or 5-1.
5-1
Yeah,
going
that-
into in the top of the 6th,
That-
and they had not. And the pitcher had done, like I said, he'd only given up 2 hits. There were a couple of costly errors on both sides, but Maplesville in particular had 2 plays at first base where they just didn't catch the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know. The ball was thrown to the guy covering the bag, and it just went through the web. I don't know. One of them. Typically, when something like that happens, having played a lot of ball myself, is you just that split second you're thinking, what am I going to do with this ball after I catch it? Because you're going to catch it, and then you just close your glove too soon, and the ball ricochets off. But even with that, it was exciting. Both teams had some miscues. It wasn't just the miscues costing the game because both teams scored as a result of it. But it was exciting. I got to call the game with Lisa Robinson. She's a softball coach and volleyball. I mean, she's just she was a great athlete. Her teams when she was in school, I think she played in the I don't know if they won the championship at Jemison or she just played for the championship, but I think they actually won it, and it may have been even in basketball, if I recall right. I mean, they just had a core bunch of ladies. This is Bill back in the '80s before women's sports were really a big
they
thing.
didn't get much support.
I mean, I was in the '70s, and you were in the 60s and 70s, right? And there just weren't women's sports. I mean, they ran track and maybe volleyball, but but not softball, and certainly not basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm glad it expanded, of course, but at the same time, it did. But y'all,
I was an early proponent of some of the women's sports, and I always in high school I was always pushing for more women's sports like the Jello wrestling and the that sort of stuff. I really thought that should have been brought out. I was ahead of my time. Ahead of my time.
What was your favorite flavor of Jello there, Bill?
Oh, no question. Black cherry.
Black cherry.
Oh, that was the name of the girl I liked so much that I wanted to be in it. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Hey, I want to mention a couple other sponsors that we have here. Coca-Cola, which I'm sorry, Mike, I could not wait. We're all enjoying it.
I got my Coca-Cola from McDonald's on the way in. I'm going to refill it here in a
Mickey
minute.
D's, but we want to thank our sponsors, including the Chilton Chamber of Commerce. Getting back to baseball, the SEC is wrapping up their regular season this weekend. I tell you what, we have got some really good baseball teams here in the state of Alabama. Auburn, before I get into SEC, tomorrow night, Auburn plays at Jacksonville State, who, when I say run rule, do y'all understand what that means? As Jacksonville had run ruled Auburn in the first game, meaning they were up by, I think it's 10 runs in baseball after 7 innings. And
they were 10 ahead.
And that's the end of the game. I mean, if
is that right? They'll do that?
If you're
to get that far ahead, they just call it?
That's right. They call it.
I didn't know that.
And softball is 8 runs, I believe. So anyway, I digress, but Jack State has won 40 games and only lost 11. So they actually have a better record than, quote, 6th ranked Auburn, which is a really good team. But they play at Jack State. But SEC, I mean, that's Jacksonville State. Troy's got a really good ball club this year. Auburn is 5th ranked. Alabama's like 18th ranked. But I think the Tide is going to be a sleeper of sorts. Excuse me. They won their 2nd straight series, sweeping. Last week was Vanderbilt, and this week they swept South Carolina on the road. So the Tide is tied for 2nd in the SEC standings with Auburn and Texas A&M. But it's really exciting. Auburn has won their 6th straight series. This week they played Mississippi State. See, Bill, right here they won 13-2 in the final. It says 7 innings. So after 7 innings, if it's more than 10 runs, the game's over.
Wow.
Which I don't know if that's fair or right, but it does keep a lot of games from getting way out of hand, because if you've ever been on the field and lost something, 19-4, it's not a fun game to be on the receiving end of that thrashing.
A baseball game can go for hours if you go into extra innings.
Oh, I know it. Free baseball, I know what they call it. But I thought something that was pretty funny was there were 5 top 25 matchups in the SEC alone this weekend. So we've got some really good baseball in our conference. But a surprise team has won the conference this year. I mean, there's no way that they could be swept this weekend. But the Georgia Bulldogs are 21-6 in conference, ranked 5th in the country. So I mean, they're not like they're not getting recognized, but they just don't typically finish at the top of the baseball standings. But they are this year. They're 21-6. Then you got A&M, Texas, Alabama, Auburn. All have 16 wins. So no matter what happens in the 3-game series this weekend, which Georgia plays at Auburn this weekend, so Auburn has a real good chance to advance and everything. But it'll be interesting how it all shakes out. But there are 10 teams in our conference, in the SEC conference, that are ranked in the top 25.
Wow.
I mean, that's 40% of the baseball teams ranked, including what? 4 teams in the top 10. So
wow, that's
pretty
amazing.
good. Pretty good stats there. going on. I got other sports too, but I think I'll save the rest of it for a little bit later in the show. But I also want to thank Larry Puckett Chevrolet and Putter Up.
Yep.
Putter Up is our putt sponsors there in Pelham. Say that real fast. Putt sponsors in Pelham. But anyway, that's what I got for sports for the time being.
That's cool. I mean, I used when I was in Birmingham, I worked for years back in the late 70s, early 80s. I worked for ERC and Kicks. ERC Radio was the Birmingham Barons
Right.
team.
I
Eli
used to listen
Gold was
to
calling them, yeah. And so I was the 6 to midnight guy. So I would get in there and we'd do a little bit of rock and roll, and then we'd stop and start the Barons game. And I remember one night, and you know, when the game was over, I'd go back to playing music until midnight, and then I'd go home. Somebody else would come in. We started the game at like 7 o'clock. I played about an hour of music, started the game, and you have to sit there and listen to the game, you know, and take the breaks.
Right.
You know, so when they say, we'll be right back, you know, you hit the little sounder that gives the ID, and then you play the commercials, and then you go back to the game, and back and forth, back and forth. Well, at midnight, the game was still going. And so I left the radio station at midnight, and me and a buddy went to Waffle House to get something to eat, and we sat and talked and ate. We went out to get back. I know we were in Waffle House over an hour. Go back to the car. Barons are still playing.
My
How about that?
And they played, I think it was like a record for the Barons. They played until I think 3 o'clock.
Oh my goodness
Good
gracious!
And it was the most boring, horrible thing you've ever, because, you know, by that time, there was nobody in the stands, you know. And, you know, part of the thing, I used to love listening to baseball on radio. I liked it better. I mean, it was great if you could be there live and watch it from in the field. But I much prefer radio baseball, really, than watching it on TV.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a better theater of the mind, you know, and I love the sound. You can hear the crack of the bat, you know, and the little crowd noises in the organ. Doon, 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 doon. So at the sad, we went out
ambiance.
to get in our car, to go home, and you hear the guy, you heard Eli, and he's going, and Eli's a professional, but you could tell he was pretty fatigued by this game.
Yeah.
And, you know, swing and a miss, you know, and all that stuff. And then you'd hear nothing.
Yeah,
Nobody's in the stand.
Yeah.
No yell. Maybe one guy going, you know, one.
What kind of
One
sound?
clap.
What kind of sound was that, Bill?
They didn't. It proved to the audience that we weren't enhancing the game with fake crowd noises. I think we may have instituted them after that game because it was so hard to listen to and so boring. But I just turned it off. I found out the next day it went to like 3 o'clock. It was one of the longest games ever.
Well, where we were set up in Maplesville was right behind home plate. I mean, literally, they have a backstop that can't be 25 feet.
Really?
I mean, the ball would get back past the catcher, and he would just turn and wait for it to hit the brick wall and come back to him. I mean, he wouldn't even have to chase it. But we were right under their press box, and they have 2 giant speakers. And they were rock and roll, and I thought it was baiting at first. I was like, "Turn that down! I can't listen. I can't hear what I'm doing, you know." And he's like, and he would adjust it, and it was like still blasting. I'm like, something's not going down. And then I looked up, and it was like these giant speakers are right there. And
They were rocking the stadium.
So
You know, nowadays it's rock and roll, blasting.
yeah.
Everybody, you know, some guys have their own music they want when they come up to bat.
That's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
they'll
Even in
walk
high
up.
school, you
You
know.
weren't
walk
a fan
up.
of the walk-up songs?
No, what was Chipper Jones? He had the same thing for 20 years.
Did he
I
really?
know,
Yeah, I can't
They're even
remember.
doing that
But it
Little
was
League
like
now, you
it was
know?
like AC/DC or some, you know, hard, you know, headbanging or what I call headbanging.
Well, what would your walk-up song be if you had one for the first tee when you go golfing?
I'm an Allman Brothers fan. I would probably go with "I Was Born a Rambling Man."
Yeah, Rambling Man.
Yeah, that's
good one.
it. That would
Do
be
you
it.
golf?
Do I golf?
Yeah.
Do you have time for golf? Getting up at
I,
3 every morning?
I love golf,
Inquiring minds
but
want
I'm
to know.
a terrible golfer. I've never been good. I started playing in high school, played up until just a few years, and I had to give it up because my legs went bad, you know, when I got that CIDP. But I love golf, but I'm a terrible golfer.
Yeah.
I really am. I used to play in all the celebrity tournaments and stuff, and I would only play if it was best ball. because if I may not be able, if I help the team, it's because it was an accident.
Yeah.
And I just happened to
Might
hit
make
one
a
good.
putt. Or
Yeah, I
something.
mean, just it
Right.
was fluke.
Well, what would your walk-up song be?
In golf,
Yeah.
no,
first
well-
do
one.
you have walk-up songs in golf?
No.
I don't know.
Well, like Crewan. Let's see. At my age now, it'd probably be something not slow. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've helped. I have some friends that their kids play baseball. Their sons play baseball, so they'll ask me to do the audio for the walk-ups, walk-ons. So
Yeah.
they'll say, so I'll go, now batting, number 73, Tony Smith or whatever, and I'd have to put their music behind it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, they want it done like the wrestling, so it's Tony Smith. Yeah, exactly. So some of these kids pick some of the funniest,
Yeah.
and of course, at my age, I'm a white male, 73 years of age. Think how much hip hop I know. Yeah, I still, I don't know any of it. I don't know it at all.
Oh,
So
good catch. Nice.
So they tell me the name of the song, and I look it up on Spotify or whatever.
Yeah.
And of course, what is these? I don't understand this because a lot of these kids were pretty young.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for my friends who have grandchildren that are, playing. And they're like, I don't know, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. And they say he wants, of course, even the grandparents or parents said, I don't know what it is. He wants so-and-so by so-and-so. And I go, okay, So I'd look it up and I'd listen to the song and it's like,
I know.
I can't find, be so much nasty words in it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know it.
I can't put this on there. And
Coochie man.
what you have to do is listen to the whole song
Another Almond
and
Brothers.
try to find that one clip that you can put, basically just the beats.
Like, this is
Yeah,
your
that's
run-up
right.
song because there's not
Exactly.
enough music for you to
Run-up
walk
song,
up,
yeah.
okay?
There's no lyrics in your walk-up.
Hey, Brian helped me out with Shipper's song. It was Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay.
Oh, Ozzy Osbourne, Crazy
Yeah,
Train.
yeah.
That's
We'll talk
funny.
about Braves manager
Well-
Bobby Cox passing away
Yeah.
and a little bit later in our show.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
All
Well,
right.
even T-Ball has walk-up songs now. Deason was the Grinch, a mean one, and he would just dance up there the whole time.
There you go.
The Grinch.
Yeah.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. That
Yeah.
one?
Yep. 39.5-foot pole, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Oh,
touch
yeah.
you with it. Not a 40-foot, but 39 and a half.
You know who
This year-
sang that song?
No.
Merle Ravencroft.
I've heard that name.
Yeah, he was
thought you
also
were
the
about to say
voice.
Merle Haggard.
He was
I was like,
also
no
the
way.
voice of Tony the Tiger.
I was
Oh,
thinking
that's cool.
I was thinking it was Boris Karloff, but he does the narration of
Yes.
that cartoon.
Yeah, no, it's
or whatever
Merle.
that is.
He just died last year. Merle Ravencroft.
Oh, how about
What a
that?
bizarre name.
Yeah.
But he's a neat man, but he's the one that did that, and they're great. The Tony
Tony
Tiger
the Tiger,
voice.
really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's
that's my hero.
neat.
I had a Tony the Tiger cereal bowl back in
Yeah,
back
really?
in the day.
I covet that.
Well, you had to send in 3 box tops
Oh,
and
see,
50 cents or
I'd
something.
kill for that. I'd beat up a nun for that.
Oh my God.
Holding an orphan.
Okay, well, we're going to go to break so that Bill can go to confession.
Yes,
Confessional.
exactly.
Y'all stick around and we'll be back in just a few minutes. You're tuning in to Morning Mayhem on Popper Beach Radio.
Update on the forecast for today. Partly sunny, a high of 77. Only a 20% chance of rain. Tonight's low 54. Sunny on Tuesday, a high of 81. 83 on Wednesday. At your weather update, I'm meteorologist JP Dice right here on Piper Beach Radio.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton. where quality meets convenience. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? MEMS Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust MEMS Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984.
We are back at 7:03, 3 minutes after 7 o'clock. Now, if you're new to this, if you're just now tuning in, we've been on for an hour.
That's right.
We started at 6 this morning.
Exactly.
And from now on, Morning Mayhem will be 6 to 9, not just 7 to 9. So we'll give you an extra hour every day, starting a little early. And, a lot of folks have to get on to work or get things going. So we're hoping for a lot of folks, 6 to 7 will be a really prime hour to be able to get Morning Mayhem and get all your news and fun stuff and sports and everything before you get busy for the day. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you so much. And we hope that if you have any needs or anything you want us to know about, just text us, email us, whatever. We just want this station to be for you. We want it to be what you need, what you want, and what you like. So
I love
thank you for being here.
That's right. Well said, sir. Well said.
Thank
Hey,
you.
we got a couple other sponsors to go here, Bill, that we haven't thanked yet, and that includes This and That Vinyl and Workout Anytime. We appreciate all of our sponsors.
My shirt today is from This and That Vinyl.
How about
They
that?
do such good
They
work,
do.
don't they?
They
They
sure
really
do.
do.
I just got that. It says later,
Later, good.
Gator.
Deason's wearing one today that says, it has after crocodile.
After a while.
After a while,
Yeah.
crocodile. Later,
That's right.
Gator.
Yeah.
That's right.
See you later, Gator.
we're gonna
After a
be
while,
matching.
crocodile.
All right, little trivia here. Brian wants to know, and don't look.
Uh-oh.
Oh, actually,
I think he don't know.
I think he does know. He says, do y'all know who sang the song to the show Married with Children? Love and Marriage.
Love
I know who it
and
is.
marriage.
I think it's I don't know what his nickname was, but part of the Rat Pack.
No, was it?
I think it was Frank
I was
Sinatra.
thinking. No, I don't think it was Frank Sinatra. Was it? I was thinking it was Tony. I don't know. All right, Brian, let us know. You've teased us.
Do you
We
know?
want to know. I love that. I
say
love that
Frank.
song. It's an old classic.
I
Love and
know.
marriage
I think
go
it's
together
Frank.
like a horse and carriage.
He
right.
said it was Frank
This- I
Sinatra.
tell you.
You're good
Frank
ear,
Sinatra.
good ear, man.
Wow.
Frank Sinatra.
Thank
So he don't
you,
know
thank
lyrics,
you.
but he knows
Please wait,
singers.
hold that applause. We have a show to do. Thank you, Taylor. I was wondering if I'd
You're
get
welcome.
anything,
You're
but
so
yes, I
welcome.
did get it. Yes, thank you. But yeah, that was a pretty funny show too. Poor Al Bundy. He used to run into some situations.
I love Al Bundy. He was my counter hero because he and I are a lot like losers. Oh my God.
Used to sell
Politically
shoes.
incorrect in every way.
That's him.
That would be me.
Oh, blue eyes.
Oh,
That's
my
right.
goodness.
Oh,
And
gosh.
Peg was pretty hot.
Well, and yes.
I liked Peg.
They always had some.
And what was the daughter? The girl that's Apple?
Kelly.
Kelly. Ooh, she
And
was
Bud.
really cute.
Bud
I
was
can't
so
say
funny.
much about Kelly because she was pretty young, but Peg I can talk about.
There you go.
I had some bad crushes on TV
man.
women. Did you have any crushes on? Did
you
you have
know,
a crush?
the
on-
weather outside is just so
Mild.
mild. Have you noticed it's
You
very?
can't. You're not gonna. I'm not
nice.
gonna let you get away with it. I'm gonna keep hammering.
Raynette's
You
not
might as
getting
well.
on
I think
today.
that's probably the worst mistake I made was trying to defer with this guy.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm not gonna
coming
let you
back.
off. I'm not
It's
gonna
like,
quit.
Like, all right, yeah,
All
I'll
right,
just
so
circle back.
Did
and-
you have any
Let
crushes?
me think. Wonder Woman. I
Oh,
mean, let's
yeah,
face
yeah.
it. I mean,
You know who I like too? The girls in Petticoat Junction.
Peggy Sue, Kathy Sue, and
Yeah.
Loretta Sue or something like
Yeah,
that.
the
They were all
girls,
had
yeah.
some, two names, didn't they?
Yeah, they all were
Yeah.
Southern. Now, did you have any crushes on TV? Like, the boys, the guys that.
I had so many, I can't even remember.
Do you really have a lot of them? My sisters did too.
Yeah.
They liked Sean Cassidy and some of these, and even Donny Osmond, if I remember. Of course, they're older, than you are.
I really like the Charlie's Angels because that was. I mean, I watched it because of the crime show. It wasn't the women.
Yeah, you didn't know. No, it's like me. I watched Three's Company, but it was the writing and the storytelling.
I deny the rumor that I had a Farrah Fawcett poster in my closet.
Son, I had it over my bed. That Farrah Fawcett poster. I'd like to get another one now. Because that and the album cover for Herb Alpert and the Tijuana's Brass, Whipped Cream.
Oh yeah,
brought me into puberty.
There you go.
I rode that poster and that album into puberty at full speed.
Oh my God.
My mom and dad loved Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass.
Yeah, but remember the Whipped Cream album? It was a woman that had wearing nothing but whipped cream on her. And she was kind of chesty, and it was wonderful.
I did not have one of those under my bed.
Stared
that was not what that was.
To this day, I can sing I can hum every Herb Alpert song off that album.
And I started whistling one when you said
Thank
that.
you, Herb.
I was thinking of the one where he's playing. Of course, he's playing his
trumpet.
Yeah, and he's just going wide open. I don't know the name of it, but you'd recognize the tune if I was brave enough to whistle it here on the air.
I like the Lonely Bull.
Oh, we've already talked about this. I can't
I was
whistle.
whistling.
That's
the other day.
Lonely
Can
Bull.
you whistle?
Is that it?
Mm-hmm. I used to could, but I've changed my teeth.
Aw, I haven't practiced since then.
Listen to us whistling. Oh, listen to you whistle.
Yeah, that's. I'm trying to teach our granddaughter. I can't believe
I did it.
I worked for years teaching our little daughter. She's 23. She's the one that just got married. Teaching her how to whistle. And I mean, Bill, there was a time where she would walk around the house whistling. Once she learned,
then she wouldn't quit.
She has a fantastic ear for music. She plays the violin.
Oh, good for her.
And so she is just, and there was a time she was just whistling. And finally we said, now listen now, there's a time for whistling and there's a time for not whistling.
Right.
So figure out which is which.
I couldn't whistle, but that's how I was with tap dancing. I would just tap
everywhere. Once you got the hang of it,
yes.
I mean, that was what she was doing. She was just enjoying it because she could really do
just
it.
Make the noise.
Was really good at it, and she could do a dead on Andy Griffith whistle.
Could she really? She could do the Andy Griffith show.
We watched enough of it to where she knows the Andy Griffith show and Barney.
You know what I wanted to do and couldn't my whole life, still can't? That thing where people put their fingers on each side of their mouth and make that really loud whistle. Shrill, like they're calling somebody from a mile away.
I can't do it this way, but I can do it from here.
Can you?
I mean, my son loves to tell the story about we were in Atlanta at a Braves game. And it was back in the heyday. And speaking of the Braves, I mentioned about their manager, Bobby Cox, passed away last week. I mean, what a guy that was. I want to talk some more about him. He was really funny to watch. He used to get thrown out of a lot of games. He would get in an argument, with the umpires.
With the umps, yeah.
Oh, that was why we tuned in.
And he the one that used to kick a lot of dirt on their feet?
Well, that was Billy Martin.
Oh, Billy Martin, that's right.
That was not, he was not on his own of kicking dirt on umpires' feet, but I don't know if I ever saw Bobby do it, but I saw him kick some dirt, when he was arguing balls and strikes or whatever, stuff you're not supposed to do. But anyway, what was I? Whistling. And had Miss Hannah was just quite the whistler. And
you were talking about something at the Braves game. You could whistle real loud.
Hell, I'm sorry, I can't remember, y'all. I just get sidetracked. I'm like the dog that sees a squirrel.
And I'm the old guy in the room.
What was I talking about?
Were you the Vandy whistler that day?
Anyway, we're at the ball game. He goes to the concession stand. He comes back, and I see him when he comes out of the tunnel, and I'm watching him. It's like he doesn't remember where we're sitting, and he's kind of
couldn't find you
looking, and I mean, there's thousands of people around us, and I let out one of my whistles, and he looks up. We make immediate eye contact, and I wave to him, and he's like, comes up. And he loves to tell that story because I've done it many times. Done it for our daughter at Auburn. When she got old enough to where we thought she could go to get her a Coke, or something.
Right.
And then she would come back, and I just want to make sure she knew where to come back to, So that was always a handy thing. But
all right, let's have a whistle.
Oh, I can't do it in here.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's really cool.
I wish I could do that. Oh, I'm so jealous.
This is what I used to do. All I gotta do is just a little chirp, and they know it's me.
I would kill to be able to do that.
Let me turn on my Merlin Bird app and see what kind of bird you are.
All right, here's my chirp.
Well, Bill, if you'll stay later after the show, I'll work
You'll
with you
have
for
to
a few
teach
minutes on that.
Did you do it?
What?
Was that you?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
She gave a little.
Oh, look at that.
Can't do it
That's
again.
so close. I don't know. They ask how you do it. I'm like, I don't know. You just turn your tongue a certain way and
The only
blow.
thing I achieved, couldn't ever learn to twist, but I could make a fart noise with my armpit that was
Well, now
really.
that
never do
is
that
really
either.
talented.
Oh, I was
have never been able to
astounding
do
at
that.
that.
I
I've
could never
never been
do that
able
either.
to do that.
And I would be like, oh my god, that's so gross in public. But then I'd go home and try to do it, and I never could.
Really? You gotta get just the right hand and then.
Go back into the
I don't know if I could
corner
do it
of the
now.
property where nobody sees you.
Yeah, go in the bedroom,
All
shut
right.
the door.
Now I have a weird feature. I can snap right-handed pretty good, but I injured my
Oh, so you
thumb
can't-
years ago, and I cannot make a
snap.
left-handed sound.
But don't feel bad. I can't
Is
snap
that why
either
you never
one.
Either
snap
one.
with me when I'm singing?
That's right. Well, I like to do one hand.
I love that.
Mike and Taylor, Taylor and Mike. You hadn't done that today. Of course, we have third. We have to figure out how to
I know, we
modify
need
the
to-
song to include Bill in it.
Yeah.
No, you
That's
don't.
right. No, we don't.
Nah,
No.
All right.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm good.
Well, do we need to go to a break? All right. It's 7:13 here on Piper Beach Radio, Morning Mayhem with Bill and Taylor and Mike. We'll be back in a few minutes right after these words from our sponsors.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
good.
Hello, y'all.
We are back.
Oh, y'all still rolling out of bed. Good morning.
We've been on for an hour and 17 minutes.
That's right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, actually, an hour and 15. We were 3 minutes
We
late.
were a little
were.
late.
But we were an
were.
hour earlier.
We were.
That's right.
Waiting on Taylor. I mean, we were 3 minutes late.
Maybe so.
No, I'm teasing. You were already in here.
But she was sleepy. She hasn't been to bed all night last night. Never.
I'm not sleepy yet.
Have you not? You look fine. You don't look sleepy-eyed
Yeah,
or anything.
I don't feel sleepy yet.
Good. Noon
Probably.
She's going to be sprouting
about
wings
it.
here in a minute,
or
though, right?
10.
Oh, yeah.
Kiss your wings.
You know, they say there's...
Flying over to the
Is
school.
that the commercial?
I think it
Isn't
is.
that
That's
the
the
one
first
that-
time I've
that
ever
the-
had a Red
Is that the
Bull.
one that gives you wings? Is
Yeah,
Red
it
Bull?
gives you
I think
wings.
so.
That's why I
Gives
said,
you wings.
yeah, like that.
I love Monster drinks.
Yeah, I normally drink the Alani's.
I like Alani's. What flavor do you like?
I like the Cosmic Stardust.
It's a little weird for me. That and the cotton candy I can't drink, but
Yeah.
I do like the cherry slush.
Really, I haven't tried that one.
Ooh, real cherry like.
I like the Hawaiian Ice too, but not a lot of people do.
No, I don't. I think I've tried it. I think I liked it okay.
Yeah.
Hawaiian ice.
This one is Fuji apple and ginger.
That sounds. Is that the
pretty
Red
good.
Bull?
All right, so this Coca-Cola
Yes. There you go.
has 34 milligrams of caffeine in
This-
12 ounces.
Oh, this one only has 80 milligrams and 8.4 ounces.
Well,
There you go. So
you know, I get
The-
that monster that's
It's
that big, and it has
500.
200,000 milligrams of caffeine.
The
Bill's
Alani's,
riding with a Monster 40.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Boom, 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 boom,
the
boom.
Alani's that I normally get have 200 in them.
In that size.
Yeah.
It's not this size.
No
It's
wonder you
like
They're
don't
a
get
little
any
taller, but-
sleep.
No, they don't bother me.
Oh, they
I
don't
don't even
bother
know
me.
why I
200
drink them,
milligrams of
honestly.
caffeine, that won't bother me.
Yeah, it really don't. I could drink it before
Me
bed,
too.
fall asleep.
I've just been,
I do too. I can
Yeah.
drink
I've
a
been
Monster
hesitant.
or a Lonnie and go right to bed.
my son, I think Monster is his preferred drink, but, or
Right.
energy drink or whatever you call it. But I just haven't had the guts to try it yet. I don't know why. I think I'm going to freak out if I get twice as much caffeine in me at
Well,
one
if you
time.
try it early.
Yeah, exactly. Give me
Yeah.
the rest of the
Drink
day
it in the
to
morning.
let it wear off.
Drink it on your way here.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good. Oh, I'm ready for a good show. I'm ready for somebody bring me some more coffee here real quick. I'm
You
good.
can get 6 hours in a 3-hour shift.
Exactly. And speaking of 6 hours and 3, want to recognize Farmers Furniture and thank them and Woods Surfside Marina for being sponsors here on the
What's that
Morning
got to
Mayhem
do with
show.
6 and
That's
3?
right.
Well, it doesn't, but it's a matter of, I thought it was a good segue into it.
That's a good deal. I like that.
Work out
I
anytime.
love that.
That's right. We'll go
I
over.
love
We'll
that.
go over another time or two before we're through.
I love that. Thanks to all our sponsors. They're wonderful.
Thank
That's
y'all so
right.
much.
That's right.
Keep this
Exactly.
thing going.
That's right. You know, Bill, you said earlier that me and you are a lot alike. Around probably 3:30 this morning, I was thinking about you.
Really?
I was putting those little books together. I was like, when I tell Bill that I've waited and I'm procrastinating to do this, he's going to be a procrastinator too.
I am.
Because I thought about our hoarding problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our what problem?
Hoarding could not.
Hoarding?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
with a D.
I didn't
Hoarding.
realize what a hoarder I was till we moved.
Yeah.
And everyone was going, "What is all this?" And I thought, it's normal. Oh, no. This is not normal, they told
I
me.
know.
And it wasn't.
Abby,
hoping that I
Abby
can-
normal.
We need to write Dear Abby. Dear Yappy.
Yeah, I don't have anything today on
Dear
that.
Abby.
Unless I just made something up,
I'm telling you, it's a horrible thing. I'm a collector. That's what I tell everybody.
Yeah.
But I collect everything for no reason.
Me too.
I'm
hoping over the summer, once I'm done with school, I can get my stuff together before school starts in August. But I'll probably wait until like July.
Yeah, of course you will. You'll
Yeah.
wait till early August.
But then I've got vacation in July.
Oh, do you?
And then the week after, Bailey's got a work conference.
Yeah, you're going to put it on.
And then the week after, summer program's over.
Right.
Well, you just have to stay up all night a couple times and
Yeah.
you'll get it done.
And then the week after, school starts back. So I don't know. It's probably not in the cards for
Yeah.
me.
Well, we just had up in Jemison, we had the citywide spring cleanup thing, you know, a couple weeks
Mike
ago.
is not a procrastinator. He had junk sitting next to the road for a whole month. waiting
Not for a
on
whole
spring
month. It was just
Really?
for, you know, just for a couple weeks. No, it wasn't that long either. But
His
it was
community watch,
it
he
was
went
over a
around
week.
writing tickets. He wrote himself a community watch ticket and didn't even realize he was
Well, it
outside
was
his
a
own
warning.
house.
What's a community watch ticket?
Well, I'm in charge of it. So
What-
it's
what
like
is
what
it?
I say it is.
It's just, is it like an HOA thing?
Yeah,
Well,
he's
it's kinda
HOA
like,
of their
you know,
community.
Put your money in the
Oh, that's
bucket and you can
scary.
come in and,
Yeah.
you know, take the tour. Simple as that.
What?
But anyway, the point I was making is that I was able to unhoard a little bit. Or is it unhoard or dehoard?
Probably dehoarding.
Dehoarding.
I mean, it don't
Dehoarding.
sound good, but I think that is what it is.
It don't
Dehoarding?
sound
It
good.
doesn't sound too good. Dehoarding.
Where'd you grow up at? Where'd you go to school?
School.
School at?
School.
School?
School.
I used to hate when people would say it like that. Now that I'm decent, I'm like, you got to hurry up. We got to get to school.
Yeah, we gotta go to school.
We got to get to
We
the
got
school.
school in a little bit. You're gonna be late for school.
Oh.
And then I say it, and I'm like, dadgummit.
But what I found was is that after doing all that work, getting all that stuff down there to the end of the street,
You miss it.
no, it was, God, I've got a lot more to do.
Oh.
Oh,
It
yeah.
wasn't
like-
that cleansing then. It
No,
was just,
not quite, not
Yeah.
complete. You know, it was.
was just peeling
like, you know,
off the
I,
first
like I
layer.
cleaned my nails. You know, if I was looking at you know my body is the whole thing I need to do. I got my nails cleaned.
right,
So,
there you go. Isn't
you
it?
know, got that going for me.
Yeah.
I got so much that still got. We had a dumpster brought to the house, a big one, and I thought the guy. I didn't know when I ordered it. I didn't know. He said, "You want a 30 no, how did he say?
Cubic feet.
4 yard or
Yeah.
10 yard
Yeah,
or
that's
7
right.
yard?" And I said, "Yard? I don't know." I said, "Give me one of your bigger ones. You know, go up a little higher than the little one." He brought this monster, and you know, the truck backed it in, put it on my driveway, and left. I thought, well, I won't have to worry about having to get another one of these. We filled it heaping full, and you turn around, and look in the garage, and it looks like, well, now we got to start on the garage. I mean, it looked like we hadn't
Yeah.
touched anything.
I know.
So they came and got that and took that off. Then I took so many. I got to be on a first name basis at the landfill, you know, because I was going, and that's $17 every time you go to the landfill in Shelby
gosh.
County. And so
You need to just start stopping by Thorsby when you come up here.
something. Well, then we had, you know, a 4-day Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday 4-day estate sale,
Yeah.
and we had a big old crowd. And now you can almost see into the garage at my place.
Still no cars though.
I have one car, no car, no.
No car
there's
gets
no
in
room
there.
for
I
a
mean,
car. No,
into
you
the
can't.
garage.
You couldn't put
We
a
have-
go-kart in
We
there.
have 2 cars in a 3-car garage. I thought, you know, that's 2 out of 3 is not bad.
That isn't bad at all. I've got a 2-car garage with no car. So, and we have 2 buildings that we're paying, you know, these storage buildings.
Yeah.
I got 2 of those full.
Oh man, Bailey just got a storage building and threw all my clothes that he was tired of
Yeah.
in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I mean, I guess so.
We have a pretty
I've
much
been
a
over there a few
giant
times.
attic that's jammed.
Really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it's
had
so
an
funny.
attic jammed. We had a
We have a
basement
lot of
jammed.
things in our attic that belongs to my sister-in-law next door. She builds a new house, and guess what's in her basement? Some of our stuff. It's like,
What?
yeah, that's all messed
Why?
up. Yeah. Well, because nobody wants to go up in that attic and
yeah.
get drag that stuff down. You know,
Yeah,
even
you
though
know-
we have a stairway into our attic, which was a nice little feature when
Oh,
we
that
built the
is.
house. Yeah, you can just walk up there.
It's not.
You can
it's
walk
a
up there
stairway,
and-
not
and
one of
chunk
those
it.
pull down
No,
ladders.
no, there's
Oh,
there's no
man.
balancing act you have to do. It's just a true stairway.
Well, in my old
gosh,
house, we
here
had
comes-
an attic.
Thank
you could-
goodness, there it is.
What is it?
No, not
Paper
thank
products.
goodness. Not thank goodness. That means our checks are going to be about 20%
Less
less this week.
the assessment,
Baden's
the
coming in with toilet paper and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
there it is.
There it
And a
is.
big old thing of
And,
Fabuloso. It's going to be
Fabuloso.
25% less this
By the
week.
way, I've never seen that color. Does that smell as good as the blue Fabuloso?
Is that the what is that? The
He
orange
don't know. He
tangerine?
just bought it because it was on sale.
No, most time I splurge, but most time I get that day. This time I splurge. This is peach.
Oh,
Peach
Oh.
Fiber
specifically
Peach
for-
Radio.
That's
Let me
So
what-
we're going to
smell
get
it.
30% taken out of our check this
He's
week.
not going to clean anything with that. That's going to
Let's
become
give a
a
sniff.
station.
Can't open it.
Oh man, you need
Open
me to
it.
get it.
You open it. Had to get a girl to open it for me.
She got
There
it.
we go.
I had bad hands.
Does it smell like?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
that is peachy.
That smells fabuloso.
It does. That really is peachy.
Peachy
Well,
clean.
Piper Peach Radio
That'll
now
never-
with Piper Peach smell.
You can buy your limited time Piper Peach cleaner here at Piper Peach Radio.
Yeah, you know what you could do? Let's put
Only
that in
for
little bottles and give it a.
$12.
And you could
Ooh.
sell it.
How much was this at Walmart?
Was that like $6? $7.
Oh, okay.
Double right back.
Only for $16, you can
right.
get your very own Piper Peach Fabuloso
Right.
because
Do we
it's
have any of
fabulous.
those, do we have any of those Piper Peach stickers we could put on there?
You know what you could do? You could buy little packets of those wet wipes
Yeah.
and pour a bunch of that in there so they smell
Yeah.
like. You could have Piper Peach wet wipes.
Yeah,
But they would
sure.
have expiration
Hold on,
dates
wait,
on
wait.
them,
We
you
need
know.
to talk about this on break, not right now.
Oh,
Oh,
we
Yeah.
so
yeah, we're
Yeah,
letting
yeah,
it,
yeah.
we're
Market
letting
it.
it go here.
Don't forget everything you just heard.
You know. Well, we're broadcasting live here from Clanton Tractor Studio. I want to thank Children Mobile Home Supply and Central Alabama Wellness, as well as Coca-Cola. Mike, you'll be glad to know that I am on my second Coke because I started at 6 a.m. this
I
morning.
know we got an extra hour in. So
I'm on my
I'm
first
on my
bottle
second
of
one.
water.
I fully expect to be bouncing off the walls here in the third
Cannot
hour here in a
believe
few
that
minutes.
That is going to rile you up.
I don't get riled. I've already told you that.
I never get riled either, but definitely not off Coca-Cola.
Bill,
I
you
saw
can-
that video where y'all
did?
didn't get riled at each other.
He is the funniest one in that video.
He really is.
He's like, see, you're riled up right now.
You are riled up.
I have had more fun doing that one as any of them. I mean, they're all hilarious to me.
I know. Well,
We had,
are you still in a no dancing band?
There's no band involved. I just had a little fun with it. Remember, I told you about it, and there was a few comments
Yeah.
that had heard about my dancing.
I think it hurt your feelings.
I said, no, it didn't hurt my feelings, but it's like it's not serious. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's I'm not a good dancer to begin with, and so it's easy for me to play somebody who doesn't dance very well.
Yeah.
It's kind of like naturally.
Right.
But anyway, no, I had fun. I've had fun doing it, and like I told you, I used to be just anti-TikTok when it was owned by the Communist Party. They were stealing all our information from us, and
The Chinese.
yeah,
were just
exactly. Yes, I'm sorry, that's
using
what I
it
meant.
as-
Yeah,
to
CCP.
glean stuff from us,
Exactly, and
including money.
of course, President Trump and the Republicans basically said, no, we're not going to let that happen, and made them sell it to a U.S. company. I hope that's helped.
I hope it has too.
But
I like TikTok.
I still don't have a TikTok account or anything. But my granddaughter, Bill, she was imitating me, and she said, "Yeah, G Daddy's what she calls me, which I love, by the way." And she said,
G-Daddy?
G
G-Daddy.
like
Granddaddy.
granddaddy, but G Daddy.
I like G-Daddy.
I stole that from my brother, so
It's good.
I admit that. So what? He's in Georgia. What do I care?
Well, see, his doesn't stand for granddaddy.
No, it's-
His
Yeah.
stands for Georgia Daddy.
Georgia Daddy.
You're
that's right.
granddaddy.
I am the G Daddy.
G Daddy.
But she does her own little video and said, "So you know that one you put on Chit Chat?" I said,
love
"Yeah,
that.
that's the one." And so she showed me what it looked like to her.
Well, speaking of social media, I have an elephant that I've been carrying around that I need to.
An elephant in the room,
Elephant
huh?
in the room.
What is it, Taylor?
Dollar bill. Why have you not accepted my friend request on Facebook?
Ooh.
Because I don't like you.
How rude!
Well, hey,
Look, a few weeks ago.
Let me tell you, I can show you.
what is that? Fool around and find out.
I guess so.
Yeah.
First of all, now, don't forget. Let me
That's
reset
where-
things real quickly.
That's worse than I'm not talking to you, I'm talking about you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let me reset things. You are talking
Oh,
to a
gosh.
73-year-old man.
I told
Of
David,
course, I don't know you've asked me to be your friend on.
look, I've canceled my request and resent it like 4 times.
You have not.
I have.
Well, show me how to fix it. Then.
I told David a few when I first sent it. I
Golly.
said, Dollar Bill still hasn't accepted my friend request on Facebook. He's like, oh,
Bill, I
he
can
probably
relate.
don't know.
That's all I can say is I can
obviously,
relate.
I don't know.
Then the
You
week
sent me one. I
after-
would have instantly.
Baden comes in, he says, Dollar Bill is friends with Brian on Facebook. Brian sent him a friend request and he accepted it. I said, I know. He's not accepted Brian's. friends.
No, now
Friend request.
that will tell you something.
Before you request.
Because God knows I wouldn't have accepted Brian if I knew who it was or what I was
Somehow
doing. So
that
there
happened.
you go. I mean,
Brian, do you
nothing
hear that?
against you, Brian, but come on, pretty girl, come on. What, you know who I'm going to accept? No,
Exactly.
I have no idea what I'm doing with this stuff.
She's about to fix it for you, though.
I sure am.
When I was working at the radio station, they made us do
We're friends
TikTok.
now.
Oh, really?
See how quick that was?
So quick.
How'd
Voila.
you do it?
I clicked accept friend request.
That's all you had to do.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, there you go.
There I am.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Me and
Dancing.
Andy.
And I didn't realize how up I was on technical
Oh, you
things
mean I gotta
until a
start
few
watching
minutes
this
ago.
kind of stuff? You're dancing?
Yeah. And we're friends in real life, so you better like my stuff.
Okay.
That's right.
Now more pressure. But don't forget, I'm a procrastinator.
I'm gonna
so
go-
it may take a while.
Oh, no.
There you go.
I'm
Give
gonna
it-
go try
be
to tag
patient.
him in something in a little bit, and I'm gonna be deleted again.
That's right. That's
Oh,
right.
my
Oh, that's
goodness.
funny. And I will tell you this: that there's a comedy to this stuff in our house because as bad as I am with social media, my wife is much worse.
I want to hear more about her
She
check
doesn't
writing
know the
abilities.
difference between email, Facebook, texting, messaging. It's all the same to her, every bit. She'll say, somebody will say, Mary, I sent you a request for something, or I've told you about this meeting or something. She'll go, how'd you send it? And they go, email. And she'll look at me and go, is that Facebook? I go, no. Is it Messenger? Nope. Is it Messages? Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
she has no idea. So
I
I'm
mean-
kind of that way too. I'm just a little better because the radio station, those last couple of years, they were so obsessed with us being on everything, Instagram, everything.
Yeah.
And this old man, and also they made me put videos up. Like we had a requirement of putting up, I think it was 3 a day.
Oh my gosh.
A day. And so, I'm sitting there on my back porch smoking a cigar, watching the dog and drinking a drink or something, probably a bourbon. And I go, oh, hell, it's 4 o'clock.
Got to get 3 in.
Hello, $1 bill on the porch,
Oh, you had to do 3 videos of yourself.
Yeah, we had
I
to
didn't
do, we had
understand
to,
it. I was
no,
gonna-
we had to actually make 3 videos
Got you.
every day
Got you.
talking
Yeah, he's
about
not soliciting people to make TikToks like I am.
no, and they're saying you've got to share your life. It's got to be what you're doing, your life, something. And I thought, I'm 70 something back then. I was 70 years old maybe, and I'm dull and bored. I mean, I don't do anything except I go home and sit.
You should have told him, I sit around naked when I'm at home. Do you really want me to share that?
Actually, I did one time.
I'm sitting by the pool.
I took my shirt off.
on my banana hammock.
Which, listen,
As
I took my shirt off, and that's not pretty as it is.
everybody knows about
And then
shrinkage,
I
right?
told him, I told everybody I'll sit down on the porch naked. And my boss said, okay, maybe you can cut back to 2 a day. You're getting desperate now.
Be sure to keep that camera,
Yeah, keep it
waist
up.
high.
Oh my
Oh, it
gosh.
was funny. But to come up with 3 things every day about your life, and you live a boring, I mean, there's only so many dinners you can video you eating, and the same shot of you sitting on the porch. Yeah.
I have a friend on Facebook
Let's
that
go
he
check my mail again.
He
Oh,
posts
another
his
bill.
meal. He posts his dinner most days, and sometimes I'll look at it. And I'll see it's 3 days old, but I'll still send him a like because I just saw it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying, you know?
exactly.
And I'm sure he doesn't care about that, but he's quite the cook, it appears, or chef.
Wow.
Always putting together different things. Then he'll say something like, well, Domino's, I'll fix Domino's tonight and have it on the plate.
And I'll have a piece of pizza on
Yeah,
the plate.
exactly. It's like, yeah,
I mean, I
Domino's.
got a buddy that he does that too. He's obsessed with foodie stuff. But it can just be a hamburger from McDonald's with a bite out of it, and you're like, you don't have to send me everything you eat. You got to remember, he may think it's great, but I don't think it's great. I get tired of seeing that. I've befriended him. Unfollowed. I didn't befriend him. I unfollowed him. So I
Blocked him.
quit getting so many of his irritating.
You silenced him.
Yeah, just to slow him down. I
see
got
my
tired of
future
every
now.
time
I'm
I
gonna be
opened Facebook.
silenced.
Brian says they call him the Streak. You remember the song,
That's
The
right.
Streak? And that has some whistling in it. Remember when that Ray Stevens, the Streak,
Yeah, Ray Stevens.
something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. You know, they call him the Streak.
Is he the
Oh,
one who
gosh.
sang about the squirrel in the church?
Yes, at the Second Baptist Church or something.
Yeah, something.
Third
Yeah,
Baptist.
revival.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The revival. Oh
Well,
gosh.
he did one. Then there was also one from, who was the guy from Yazoo, Mississippi that did all
Jerry
that?
Clower.
Jerry Clower.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Oh, here we go. He sounded like a crow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
And he had Eugene Ledbetter and
It was
he had-
Eugene, Mogene, Lin
He
Jean.
said they were all brothers. They're all from
There were 12 of them.
Slapshot, Mississippi or something. But
Yeah.
he came at the last show. I believe I'm right, Bill. The last show that he ever did, it was in his, right at the end of his career. Of course, obviously he died not too long afterwards. He came to it's called McKee Auditorium now here down at Chilton County High School.
Really?
And it was just an auditorium back then, and he did a show. I did not go to it, a stand-up show, and I think it holds, about 700-800 people in there. So it was
Probably had it packed out.
pretty good crowd. And then he released an album, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Back then it was
It's
live
funny.
from Chilton County or something like that.
Oh, he
pretty
did
cool.
from
Yeah.
that show.
He did.
Wow. Back in
But
about
I believe I'm right. That was the last one he had.
in about 73 or 74, I was working a little radio station in Tuscaloosa, and he was just getting started, and he would put out these little 45s, and so our radio station would play a Jerry Clower bit every so often between songs, just because he was funny.
Oh, he was funny.
And and he was a nobody, and nobody had heard of him. And I was looking one night. I was sitting there on the air, and I was looking at he had an album out, and it said, Jerry Clower from Yazoo, Mississippi, and it had his phone number. So I called him about 7:00 one night. He answered the phone. He was that
Yeah.
much of a nobody that it
He was
just.
sitting on his porch.
He was
smoking a
he's
cigarette.
having dinner, I guess, but he talked to me for like 10 minutes. He was as nice as he could be. I put him on the air, talked to him a little bit, played one of his songs.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
amazing. Of course, he got to be a huge star. And then, like you said, I think he died of a heart attack or maybe
Aw.
cancer, but he wasn't that old. I mean, he was older, but he shouldn't have died that young.
Yeah,
But
that's
he was
right.
overweight and big.
He
and
was. But I think he did the one.
he was a fertilizer salesman.
Okay.
That's what he did for a living. He worked for a big fertilizer company in Yazoo, Mississippi, and that's how he started doing what he did. He was a storyteller, so he'd get all these guys he'd call on and at the feed and seed stores. They loved him. And so then they started hiring him to come to the high school and talk to be the entertainment speaker or MC the quarterback club and the stuff like that. And he just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then started putting out these little records back when you put out 45s and stuff.
Do you remember if he did the one about the Volkswagen car?
I don't
Something
know.
about he and his buddy went to Jacksonville. That's where the port was that they came in back in those days. Jacksonville, Florida.
Right.
And they got in the car and they was headed back home and had to stop to get gas. Well, if you remember the first Volkswagens, the gas, you had to open the
The back of the car.
no, it was
wasn't
actually the
the hood.
front. Well, the hood, yeah, there was no engine.
It was the trunk, but it was the hood.
Right, you had to open it up.
Is
and
that where the gas
the
went?
filler was inside of
I
there,
didn't
and of
know
course
that.
they didn't know that.
And I had one.
But before they even got to that, they had to go. The story was that they pulled in and told the service stations back in those
That's
days,
back then,
so they
somebody
told,
came out and filled your car
said
up
they
for you.
pulled in, they were real proud of themselves, they were able to drive it that far, and they said, fill it up, And the guy says, well, where do
I
you
put
put the
it?
gas? They didn't know what to do there. It turned out to be a cold night. They didn't know how to turn the heat on. Do you remember the two little levers
Yes,
down by
sir.
the gear shift? You would just pull up for heat.
And it was up under your feet.
That's exactly right. You had to know where it was. It was not an obvious switch. But and then let's see. Oh, what it was that when they figured that out, then the gas would not reach it. And so he said, well, you'll need to back up. Well, if you recall, that was one of the first transmissions. You had to push it down, slide it over, and get it into reverse. Or maybe
That's
I think
right.
it
You
may
had
have
to-
been.
You had to push, there was a Was there a button on the thing?
Well,
or just
I
push
think
the whole thing down?
I don't know. I don't remember about the
Reverse?
button,
Yeah.
but I just know that my brother
It
had a
wasn't
couple
easy
of them.
if you
No,
didn't
it
know
wasn't
the
just
trick.
slide it in there. You had to
Push it
work
down
it in
and
there,
go back up
and
and
they
reverse.
didn't know how
Well,
to
they
get
were
it
manual.
in.
They weren't even. They were manual
Oh yeah,
transmissions.
they're all manual, and they didn't know how to get it in reverse. So they said that he put it in drive, and he drove down a little bit and turned around and
Came back around.
And you can imagine if you know Jerry Clower, how he's telling it, and by now everybody's rolling in the aisle talking
like
about
my dad
that old
listens.
Volkswagen car. Said,
Well, I remember the one story where supposedly he was up in
He and Marcel.
Marcel was up in a tree with a was it a cougar? Something that was eating it, and his buddy was they were hunting, and he got up in the tree somehow with this cougar, and it was eating him up, and he said, Marcel, shoot up in here. He said, I'm afraid I'll hit you. He said, it don't matter, just shoot up in here. We both need some relief or something like that. Funny stuff. And then
well, he had something about coon dog hunting,
Yeah.
and oh god,
all
I don't
country
remember.
stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I love Jerry Clower.
He's great. He's great. Spring-loaded gear sticks. That's what Brian called it.
Spring.
Spring-loaded gear shift.
Yeah,
in the Volkswagen. It was really you
I
had
had
to
a-
know what you were doing.
I had a
And obviously they
71.
picked it up and had gotten no instruction from the dealer.
I had a 71 Super Beetle, and it was one of the best cars I ever owned in my life. I kept that thing, I put 100,000 miles on it, tore up one engine, had to put a new engine in it. But the only problem was, as you said, the trunk is the front of the car, because
Yep.
the engine's in the back. And one night I was working up in Muscle Shoals, Florence, at a radio station up there, and I'd come home to Birmingham, and my mother had helped me do some of my laundry. I was, a young guy, single guy, and I was going back at like 1 a.m. I'd stayed at my parents' house till about 10 o'clock, and about a 3-hour drive from Birmingham to Florence.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going up Highway 157, which is from Coleman to Tuscumbia. It goes through Moulton, and a lot of it is just straight, and it's cornfields, nothing out there. And I was going about 60 miles an hour, maybe 70, flying up there, middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning. Here comes a truck the other way, and I'm just going along. When the truck went by me, I heard a bang, and I went blind.
Oh no.
I thought I got something that hit me in the. I didn't hurt, but I heard a
That's good timing
slam
on the
noise, and I went blind. And so I started putting on the brake, and all this stuff. And what had happened was when the truck went by, the air from the truck had blown the hood open.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
slammed against my windshield, so I was blind. It was pitch black. And
I know that road.
but it also turns out that
trail of
all my
clothes.
clothes were up in the trunk.
Oh no.
And by the time I got stopped, I'd gone about a mile. My underwear and shirts and pants were all in the road and on the side of the
man.
road in the middle of the night. And I didn't have a flashlight. So I had to get out, and with the moonlight, and it was also about 20 degrees below zero. It was really cold that night. I'm going down Highway 157, and if I saw something that, of course, I'd pick up what I thought was a pair of underwear, and it'd be some nasty piece of cardboard that had been laying out there in the water, nasty trash. And I just threw it all in the.
Possum.
I got back, dead possum. I mean, it was horrible. And when I got home that 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, and went into my apartment and took it and put it, it was every bit of my mother's had cleaned and ironed a shirt or two. They were all just nasty because it'd been raining and stuff. It
Yeah.
Man,
That's
that's
awful.
scared me to death.
my brother had a Super Beetle. I don't remember what the year it was. It was baby blue. You know that sky blue color
Yeah.
they had back then. He had one that he rolled, and then they went and bought just another body, and they literally
Put it on the frame.
They literally took, I guess, unbolted the body, threw it away, the one that was all crushed. He and his girlfriend had survived, and just bolted another one on there. He went from having, I forget what the first color was, but the second was like a plum, like almost like a purple,
That's
But
wild.
yeah, that's the way they were made. It was like interchangeable.
Yeah, it was amazing. I blew an engine out of one. I was coming back from Florence, as a matter of fact. And, I was coming down I-65, and, back then it ended in Gardendale, and you just got
like it ended in Alabaster
Right,
back in my day.
Governor Wallace hated Jefferson County.
So they were last.
Jefferson County was the last.
I did not
place in the
realize that
state.
was the motivation behind
Yes,
that.
it was.
How
Red
about
Mountain
that?
Express, everything. Was,
Oh, George.
George hated because he never carried Jefferson County.
Was he from Clio? No, where was he?
Clio, Alabama, wasn't it?
Clio? It's
Yeah, I
Clio
think
is
so.
the way they
Clio,
say it.
is that
Yeah,
how you-
it
in
is like
Alabama?
Clio. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like in Alabama.
So you-
everywhere in the
so
world,
you're
you
getting
go
off
to
at Gardendale.
Lafayette, you go to Lafayette, Georgia, Lafayette. You know, it was named after General Lafayette.
Yep.
In Alabama, it's Lafayette.
Yeah.
And in Louisiana, it's Lafayette.
Lafayette.
Lafayette. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, tell us about you said you got off at Gardendale in the Volkswagen, your engine.
I was just
ba-boom.
coming off it, and then just suddenly every light came on. The engine made this noise like cans of bolts and nuts. And I pulled over and looked, and oil was just pouring out of the back of the.
Oh.
So that engine was done.
That's bad.
It was one of those things where the guy that had sold me that car had put sawdust
Right.
all in the oil. And what that does is if you've got an engine that's so leaky and cracked and about to blow, you can put a bunch of sawdust in there and it'll delay the visual. You won't know it's that bad a shape for a while. And I found
You
out.
fell for it.
I did.
Did you ever play a game or a road game like we call it punch buggy? And you would see a Volkswagen, you get to punch. If you called it out before
Oh, yeah,
you're,
whatever. Yeah,
you get to hit them and say punch buggy. Well, we would play that game, and I had, as a kid, and then as I got older, and I had our little daughter. We were on a trip. I forget where we were going. Maybe it was Memphis. We were going out west of us, and we would play this game, and we would count Volkswagens if you saw them, and we didn't punch each other, but we were playing and counting them like with some big contest. And,
Yeah.
and she's so competitive; she wanted to win so bad. Even this game, it didn't matter what it was.
She was competitive.
Yeah. Well, on the way you had to go through Tuscaloosa, and that's what 82, right? Goes.
Could be 82.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 82. I know there's a lot, but
Goes from-
coming
yeah.
from here, going through
Go to
Montevallo,
Montgomery and Montevallo, and goes to Centerville.
and 82 used to end at Centerville, and now
You're
it's
right.
extended
Now it
a
goes
little
all the way
further
to
now.
Montgomery.
That's right, it does. Well, the 4-lane doesn't, but
Yeah.
not yet.
Right,
They're working
yeah.
on it. Yeah, I think it's only been about 35 years, so I'm sure they'll get it done.
They're still working on it.
Just another year probably is all they need.
Yeah.
But
Another
anyway,
decade.
we're going through and we're counting. Well, I happen to know that there's a Volkswagen repair facility right off of 82
Yep.
coming up. And of course, Hannah doesn't know it. And I don't know if Raynette was playing or not, but we come over and there's this thing and there's like 30 Volkswagens. And I said, punch buggy, I just started yelling punch buggy, about 50 times. And I said, okay, I have 27. Now, how many do you have?
Burn her
And
up.
she's just a little girl, buddy. She's just steaming. She did not like it that I had pulled one on her. Oh my gosh, I don't know why that. You talking about Volkswagen? I started thinking about punch buggy.
I remember those all sitting by the side of
They
that
were.
highway, up there a little higher off the
That's
road.
exactly
yes,
right.
I remember.
Okay, well you know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, a guy had a great business. I mean,
There was
he
also-
had the vans. He had a few Carmen
They call them
Gias.
Vanagons.
Well, they had that, and then they called them, what was the microbus?
Yeah,
They didn't put the name on anything.
No.
Not till later. It was just you knew what style it was. You
Yeah.
knew that was a Beetle, even though the word Beetle wasn't
Well, they
anywhere
had
on
that
it.
VW symbol
Yeah,
on
that's
the
right.
front. Real big.
Yeah.
I love those things. They were neat looking.
And
You
what
know,
was
they're
another car
remaking
they
that.
had?
Yeah, they've remade the
The
bus.
Thing.
or the
Do you remember
vans.
the Thing, the Volkswagen
Yeah,
Thing?
it looked like a German car from World War II.
It did.
It did.
It looked like one of those amphibious.
Yeah,
that could
exactly.
go into the water and then
You'd
come out
look
the
like
other
you'd
side.
have Gestapo sitting in it.
Oh God! Do you know they started making those Beetles in like 1936? Or something,
Yeah,
something way back.
Volkswagen. That's German for the
basically changed
people's car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Volkswagen, people's
The
car.
wagon, yeah.
And,
the
Hitler helped design.
I know,
had his
I know.
input in it. Well, I
It's
mean,
got a-
it was brilliant. They're also the Germans are the ones that designed the Autobahn, which all of our interstates pretty much based on.
except that it is no speed limit on the Autobahn.
Right.
Yeah.
But they also, I think
In-laws
people
went
don't
over there and
realize
drove it.
our interstate system here, it was designed primarily so you could land airplanes on it.
And
You had to
emergency-
have a certain amount of distance that was flat.
Yep.
When
So you
we were
could
coming
land on
back,
That's why you
on it.
have curves on it instead of it just being straight.
Right.
You know.
really,
Yep.
when we were coming back from
Or one
New
of the reasons.
York, there was an emergency landing.
Really?
Yeah, and we saw it on the interstate, and Mom and Dad, they're like, we're going to see that on TikTok, like before we get home probably.
And you did.
And it is. It's them landing. And they just landed in between cars because it was an emergency. I mean, they couldn't plan it. But it was the neatest thing.
Yeah. I know that when I was getting my license, that we actually would kind of practice. What you do is I was in a little Cessna, and he'd get you always land going with the traffic, not against it, of course. And he would try to tell you he'd say, idle, cut it back to idle. And then you would try to find a hole so that you could come down and you could go over somebody so they wouldn't hit you.
Yeah.
And find a spot. Because the minute you touch down, you're pretty much, the cars are going to be leaving you. You don't have to worry about running.
Yeah.
Unless idiots see the plane in there and put on the brakes.
Yeah.
That's a scary thing. And then, there was I used to fly the helicopter traffic reports for ERC for years. And the reason I got the job is I came back from Florence to Birmingham, and I was just on the air, but they needed a helicopter traffic reporter. And they didn't tell me the reason they needed one was because they had just crashed
Oh my gosh.
one morning in the helicopter, and the guy that did it said, I ain't getting back in that thing ever again. They forgot to tell me that had happened when they hired me. But they'd run out of gas, and when they went to auto-rotate right by Eastlake in a neighborhood, in a road, they were doing fine. They were going to just touch down in the road. Some idiot, well, I shouldn't say that because they didn't see him, pulled out. And the pilot had to divert at the last second.
Oh, man.
And it made the blades hit the ground and they crashed. But it didn't hurt them.
Some idiot pulled out in front of a
scared 'em.
landing plane.
Well,
even though it
a
wasn't a
landing
neighborhood.
helicopter. And the helicopter is
helicopter, I
coming
mean.
down like this. There's no way you're going to see
least-
them.
I
Or
mean-
hear them because the engine's quit.
Oh gosh,
It
that
wasn't
is
the-
hilarious.
Yeah,
driver's
this
fault.
one, the plane that we saw, the TikTok that was posted was by somebody in a car behind them, and it was their dash cam.
Oh, and that's where they showed it.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Well, I
Let
saw
me see if
one
I can
just the
find
other
it.
day.
Mom
A
sent
guy
it to
landing
me.
on a golf course.
Yeah.
I saw
Those
that
are
too.
also
Saw
good
that, but he
places.
didn't do
No,
that
hit.
didn't come
well,
out
did
really
you see
well.
the golf course? I mean, it had all kind of berms in it. It's like, man, if he hits one of those berms, he's history, and he did.
Yeah, he did. He crashed
There it
pretty
is.
good. But, I think he walked away
I
from
think
it.
he did. That's what I
And What is
heard.
it they say?
Yep.
Every landing you walk away from is a good landing.
Good landing.
This is
Yeah.
us driving by.
I guess
so. They had
so.
already landed.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how they would get it off. Did they have to take the wings off or something and put it on a truck?
Sometimes they just put them on a trailer, and then the state troopers block the road off, and they escort them up to the exit or whatever. They can do it with the wings still on, some of them.
Cajun Navy comes help.
Cajun Navy.
Well, hey, while we're looking at Taylor's phone,
Yeah, I'm about to have
I'm going
to
to talk
head out,
about
y'all.
a couple of our other sponsors,
Here it is.
which include the Chilton Chamber of Commerce, Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Putter Up. We appreciate all you guys being our sponsor. And
Good job.
what is that?
Wow.
Is this an airplane landing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one that we saw.
Very
Oh.
good job.
You saw this?
Yeah, it's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, I thought you meant like you saw it, like it
They
happened
saw
in
it
front
right
of
when
you.
it was on the
It wasn't in
ground.
front of us, but it
Oh,
was
you know
on the
what?
road
Did
removed
you?
before
I think you
flight.
may have told me that already.
Yeah, we drove by
How
after
about
it was
that?
already on the ground. All right, friends. Well, I have to go have a banana split party with 12 3-year-olds. So I'm headed out.
Are you leaving now?
I sure am. I got to be at work in 5 minutes.
All right.
Oh, you sure
Well,
do.
have a
It's
nice
almost,
evening.
It's almost 8 o'clock.
And we'll
Yeah, y'all have fun.
see you
Without me.
tomorrow,
Y'all do good making TikToks, okay?
huh? All right.
All right.
Okay, we
Good
will.
luck. Good luck with your memory books.
Thank you. Thanks.
You got 5 to go, 4 to go, maybe 4 or 5.
4, about 3.5, 4 maybe. I don't know. They will be done by Wednesday.
There you go.
All right.
All right, Taylor. Have a great day.
Bye. Y'all
Thank you.
too.
Don't forget your phone. Thank you.
Traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
The plans you have for your property need the right equipment. Kubota has reliable tractors, utility vehicles, and mowers to help you make the most of your land, along with strong dealer support. Stop by today to explore our lineup. Right now, bring home select Kubota BX Series with 0% financing available or save up to $1,500. Now through February 28th, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Get by Clanton Tractor today or visit ClantonTractor.com.
Need care fast? Come see us at Chilton Urgent Care, 1210 7th Street South in Clanton. We offer efficient care with minimal wait times and a wide array of services, including on-site x-rays, wound care, and quick assistance with urgent needs. Medicare and most private insurance and private pay welcome. No appointment needed. Walk in Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 8 to 4. Call 205-280-0620. Chilton Urgent Care. Quality care when you need it. Looking to save some money and keep your vehicle running smooth? Head to McSweeney Auto Group for their oil change special, just $29.95. Mark your calendar for March 11th, 12th, and 13th, and again, March 26th, 27th, and 28th. And that's not all. This special will continue the 2nd and 4th weeks of April and May, giving you 3 full months of savings. Here's how it works. Take a quick test drive and receive your oil change voucher. It's that simple. Offer valid Tuesday through Thursday only. Excludes high performance and diesel oil changes.
Good morning. We are back. It is 7:59. It's 1 minute away from 8 o'clock. We're glad you're with us on this Monday morning. Mother's Day weekend. Did you do anything for Mother's Day?
We did. We have on my wife's side. My mom passed away in 2012, but on my wife's side, yeah. Well, it all happens.
Yeah,
But
my mom passed in 2010.
how about that? That's pretty close, huh?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yes, we did. We had a great time. We had my mother-in-law, my wife, her aunts.
All the women in the family.
Yeah, literally all the mothers.
Yeah,
You're right.
very good.
And of course, my sister-in-law and daughter. Well, my daughter wasn't there, but my granddaughter was. And we just had a very nice cold lunch. These ladies are getting up there pretty good now, Bill. They're 80 years old, and so they have health issues. So
Right.
that's why we went to them. That way they wouldn't have to travel or do anything. We
Brought the party to them
we
instead
brought
of
it
them
to
having to go to
That's
the party.
Exactly right, and that was in Alabaster.
Oh, good.
So that turned out really nice. After church, we rode up there. My wife is such a great planner. I told you she fixes breakfast. I mean, Taylor was talking about, you got this much protein and you have this much vegetables, because that's the way she taught culinary for
I love it.
about 9 years actually.
Really?
Her last 9, I think it was, at Jemison High School. The county board of education put her in a tremendous commercial kitchen.
Really?
They ripped out the old family consumer science / home economics
Home
room,
ec. We used to call it
with
home
the
ec,
home
yeah.
stations, the sink, a microwave and a conventional oven and a refrigerator. Right, that's what you basically had in cabinets. All that got ripped out. Totally nice new commercial kitchen. That's right.
Oh,
So anyway,
wow.
she had that thing going for a long time. And of course, she knew your wife she was a teacher at Montevallo for 21
Was she?
years.
Oh, then she knew Mary.
Yeah. In fact, we saw you guys at some banquet, I guess I'll call it. It was in Montevallo.
Oh, was it
They
like
were
the Rotary
honoring-
Chamber banquet?
Perhaps
where they
that
give
was
the
it.
Teachers of the Year award
That's right.
and all that.
Renee had won
I've
it that
emceed
year.
that for 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. You were there, and I forgot that you emceed it. I'm sure that you did, but she won it that year.
Oh, good for her.
But she is one of these ones that will plan it out. She plans it, so she had it all planned out. She'd already done it the day before, and even taken all the food up there because
Oh, really?
she was concerned about.
is organized.
She was really concerned about having it in the back of the car while we were in
yeah.
church, because
That's
it was
right.
chicken salad and
You don't want that getting
pimento.
hot. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
So she just nipped that in the bud by taking it up. There's Alabasters, half an hour maybe, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, we had a great time. How about you? What'd you do on Mother's
What
Day?
church did you do it at?
We're at Mineral Springs Baptist between Clanton and Jemison.
Yeah, very
Jason
good.
Green here at the.
Yeah,
at the-
Jason.
he's our pastor.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
That's his
yeah,
church.
It is.
Oh,
Mhm.
very good.
That's right.
Well, that's neat.
He helped me get this gig.
Did
You know?
he? Is that right?
Actually,
that's good.
actually, I grew up with Baden's dad, Aaron.
Did you, Aaron?
Yeah, in the same
Yeah.
neighborhood.
That's amazing.
And in spite of what all happened back then, he's still my friend.
Oh, there you go.
And he forgave me for
There you go. All those
whatever.
youthful transgressions.
Exactly, I was going to use the word transgression.
That's
but,
amazing.
He,
I love
he
it.
forgave me, but I saw him at some Founders Day or something, whatever it was, at the city of Jemison had, and they had a Piper Pete's tent set up, and I went and talked to him for a few minutes.
That's
and
great.
I told him how much I would love to work. I told him I wanted to do play-by-play. I was thinking
Right.
sports was just kind of something that always been kind of like a dream I had. And in fact, I've told the story before about what I told my brother at last November, I think it was, that Baden and Aaron contacted me about doing play-by-play for a football game. Thorsby High School was in the state playoffs. Well, the same time Maplesville was having one. So
you needed to
we did
split
two
up,
games. That's right. We
right.
split up, and I got to work with Kelly Smithland, who was a former coach at Jemison, and I'm sure other schools too. A great guy, really knows his stuff. But I got to do it, and my brother says, "Well, if anybody asks you anything about how where you were trained, what school you went to, you tell them you graduated from the University of ESPN and the Fox News Institute." And I said, "Yeah, okay, I can go with that." People
Got a master's in that one.
exactly. They'll understand that.
That's funny. That's neat.
But
I just had, like you, my wife and I had a kind of a quiet one. Both our parents are long passed.
Right,
So
right.
our mothers are both gone. So her son, my stepson, lives in Providence, Rhode Island. So he called, and I got her some flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
So we just had a
Well, I happened to be
quiet
coming
day.
through Greenville, and I stopped at Priester's Pecans.
Oh, I
and
love
I got her a
Priester's.
nice package.
Did you?
All kind of variety.
Oh yeah.
And now listen, she didn't mean it the way it might have come across to me, but she looked at it and she says, "Well, there's no pecan log in this." I'm like,
That's her favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
The,
I didn't even-
divinity with the pecans around
That's right.
it. I
Now
love
there's
it too.
divinity with pecans in it, but the divinity's on the outside.
Right.
It's the opposite.
She likes the log
That's what she wanted. She was like, "Where's the pecan?"
and kind of deflates you a little
And I
bit.
said,
doesn't
"Well,
it?
Happy Mother's Day anyway."
anyway.
But I also bought her some herbs. She likes to grow. She's,
Does
I
she
told you
really?
she cooks and
So she
uses fresh.
grows her own thyme and basil and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish I could do that.
She did basil. This time I got basil and I got oregano and I got chives and something else. So I got 4 little things.
What's the one that looks like a little pine tree that's so strong?
Oh man! If you hadn't have said it or asked me, I could have told you.
You know what I'm talking
we have a
about.
giant one of those
Do
growing.
you really?
Oh,
So
yeah,
you can just go out and grab needles
I
off
guess
it?
Yeah. I guess she does.
I love stuff
If
like
she's
that.
listening, she will let us know very quickly what that
Yeah, I
plant
can't
is.
remember
on the,
what it
on the
is. It's
deck
not-
there.
It's not thyme, sage, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Feel like I'm Simon and Garfunkel
You have to
song.
explain yourself there.
Yeah,
People
Simon
won't
and
know who
Garfunkel.
Simon and Garfunkel was. They've probably never heard Bridge
It'd have to
Over
be
Troubled
my age,
Water.
yeah.
I liked it though. Hey, I also want to thank while we're right here, we got Larry Puckett Chevrolet as our sponsor, one of our sponsors.
Thank you, Larry Puckett Chevrolet.
You know, they have the largest
Pre-owned cars. Yeah, they
I
got
know.
used, pre-loved cars.
Yeah, I
Huge
mean,
inventory.
I haven't bought a new car in a long time.
I don't either. I like one that's had taken that first hit. You know,
The depreciation.
yeah. I think it's smart buying if you don't want just something brand new. And I don't care. I've never bought but one. I've never bought for me one brand new car. Now my wife has bought a couple that she wanted.
Yeah.
But the only car I ever bought brand new was because I had to have it. This was back in the 80s. Toyota came out with a mid-engine sports car called the MR2.
I remember that.
Remember that one?
I do.
I bought one in 84, 85, somewhere in there.
I did not know it was a mid-engine. I've never ridden
It was
in one or driven
mid-engine,
one.
and it was phenomenal.
Which is literally just behind the driver.
It's right behind the driver, so
Yeah.
your center of gravity is
Like a
real,
Corvette.
so it's a stable car.
It's made now.
And it was hot, and it was wonderful. But my ex-wife, I was married then to my ex-wife, she didn't like it because it was just a two-seater, and I couldn't cart her mother and her sister around with her, which is what she always wanted. So I had to give up my sports car, MR2. And, you know, at that time, I was in my 30s. I wanted something sporty.
Did you get a van?
I got a worse than that. I got a boxy Mazda 424 that just looks like a box. No style.
Yeah.
Plenty of room. Big back seat, big front seat.
Oh, gosh.
But just no styling at all. It was not a bad car, but for a 30-something-year-old guy to give up a sports car that had that stick slap shift that was real short, you could go through. It was a great car.
It was what do they call that? A short shift, maybe?
Yeah, so I
something
don't
that's
have a
really
name.
quick. Yeah, because it's
really
it's
quick.
only about that far.
And you sat in that MR2 in a supine position almost. You almost were laying back like in a jet cockpit.
My son drives that way. I can't do it. I have to sit up. I mean, I like
now I do, but
I mean, I'm
then
sitting
I
up straight. You know what I mean? I've got the support right up against me in
I do
my
too
truck.
now. I couldn't do that now.
Yeah, but he
Boy,
just
when
he
I was
rides
young,
like
I
this.
loved
You
it.
know, like how do you do it?
I don't know either.
I don't know, but he makes it. I was just thinking when
That's one of the reasons, by the way, it's my ex-wife.
Yeah. It made you get rid of your car you wanted, or you like your sports car.
But that's the only new car I've ever bought. I'm 73. I've had, so many cars, but I couldn't afford a new car for the first half of my life, because I was just struggling to make a living.
Sure.
And then when I could, I got that one, and I've never bought a new one since.
By then you'd wised up,
great deals on
let somebody
cars.
else take that hit, like you're talking about.
I mean, the minute you drive a new car over the curb off onto the street, you can take as much as $12,000 off.
Yeah, it can be 20-25%. That's what I've always heard.
Yeah.
And of course, I think that's just car dealers talking, so that if you did change your mind, they would,
well, if you go back,
take 25% off.
Yeah, that's
and,
right.
and then they would resell it and get that 25 back. Yeah, it's a racket out there, Bill.
Is a racket.
It's a money making scheme.
Well, I guess that's what they're trying to do.
I know it is. It is.
But yeah, so
but Larry
my
Puckett's
favorite
got
car,
that big lot out
they've
there.
got a huge
Lots
inventory.
of what'd you call them? Not previously owned. What'd you call them? The car.
Previously loved.
Previously loved cars. I hope so. Do you talk to your car, Bill? Do you treat it and talk to it?
I do I talk to everything.
Yeah,
I do.
I do too. It's like
I kind of
Ronnie Ram. That's his name.
Who's?
Ronnie Ram. My Ram pickup
He's
out there.
Ronnie Ram.
Ronnie.
Yeah. Mine is called the Beast.
The
That's
Beast.
The Beast. Yeah,
I saw it.
It's a big Land Cruiser.
Yep.
And Toyota. I bought it. It was almost, I don't know, it was 5 or 6, 7 years old when I bought it. I hope to be buried in that car.
There you go.
That's
The last one you need to have, huh? There you
I love
go.
that thing.
Well,
it's just a monster. Now, the gas mileage is awful.
Right.
That's about the only negative thing I can say about that car. It's been the only car that I've loved.
But you can't have one that big that's going to get you that good of gas mileage.
And this one, this one would, this one will pull a building off its.
Well, I thought it was a Sequoia, but you said it's a Land Cruiser, which
Land
means it is
Cruiser.
really designed for off-road.
Right.
I mean, so it's not going to get.
No.
It's not for gas mileage.
No.
That's right. Exactly.
And I was telling Baden the other day when I came in, I'd spent $100. That was the one. That's the vehicle I'd put $90 worth of gas in the other morning.
I figured it was when I saw it because I knew it had a 20-gallon plus tank.
23-gallon tank or something.
I got 26 in that Ram out there.
Oh,
so.
isn't that horrible?
Oh,
I've got
now.
a Ram. I've got a Ram 1500, and I try not to ever fill it up. I don't let it get past half a tank, and I try to then fill it up.
Or
So it
just
doesn't
add
look-
to it
yeah.
occasionally. I hear you.
Yeah, I love having a truck and a big vehicle. It's safer. It feels good. It's solid on the road. That Land Cruiser's all-wheel drive all the time, and it's solid as a rock, heavy. It's a good car, safe if you had a wreck and all that stuff. But the gas mileage is going to be
The
down.
smaller version of that, is that called the FJ? Something like
It's
that?
much smaller. The FJ is that. I don't even think they make the FJ anymore, but it's
Well,
the
when
one
they
that
did,
kind of looked like the thing that Volkswagen made. It was real Jeepy looking. It looked more
that's
like
right.
a Jeep.
It looked like a
Jeep.
amphibia mobile is what I call them. Exactly.
The Sequoia is pretty much the same size as a Land Cruiser, just not as heavy duty.
Right. We drove one several years ago, then went to a van, and we were looking at the SUV or that. And
Sure.
we did it because of that V8. I haven't owned but maybe one or two V8s in my whole life. I always get the six.
Me too.
Like the Ram.
Or
that 6-cylinder, it's got 300 horsepower, man. It'll get up and go if I need to.
I had well, of course, the Ram I've got's a Hemi.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that's like 400 horsepower.
Yeah, well, I had an F-150 years ago, about a 1980 or 81 F-150, and it had that little 318, or not 318, but it was the smallest V8.
I think it's a 318. You're
Yeah,
right.
you maybe were
It's
318.
5.2 liters.
Yeah, it was great. It was a four-wheel drive. Had four-wheel drive, and I never had a problem with it being underpowered. But I didn't tow a lot with it. I'd tow a trailer once in a while with a golf cart or something on it. I never had anything heavy like a camper or
You remember the year it was? You said it was the 80s?
early 80s. Like
They made those
79,
same
80.
engines. Even that 5.7 Hemi they got now is one they've been making for 30 years.
Wow, I
It's just
didn't know that.
modified. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good engine.
Yeah, it's a
It's
great
like that
engine.
Slant 6 we were talking about.
Oh, that thing
I
was,
had a 80 model. I think it was a D100 back then.
had the
Dodge.
Slant 6 engine in it.
Had this like 231 or whatever it was, cubic inches. It was cubic inches back then,
Right.
Wasn't
Now it's
liters.
no liters back
No,
then.
it wasn't liters. But it was Prospector. What was it? It had two names. Prospector. Anyway, it was chromed out, man. I have never seen. It looked
Really?
like a 1950s model something.
Oh yeah, it looked like
Chrome
something
everywhere.
with all the chrome.
It
on
was so nice. I'll never forget that my dad helped me buy it. That was the first one I ever bought new. That was an 80 model. And I bought it right near the end of the season. So
love
and
it.
some guy had special ordered and didn't want it. And we bought it some dealer down in Montgomery. And my dad showed me how to buy a car real quick. He said, don't be afraid to stand up and begin to walk out
Yeah,
if it's not what you want. And just go buy another one. He said, there's other dealers,
there's other cars.
other cars, and I wanted that truck so bad. And he talked this guy. He made a tremendously low offer, I thought. And the guy was like, "Oh man, I can't take that for that truck. That's back then it was a $7,000 truck. But
Now,
now
money back
now then it would be like a 70,000 today.
Right.
It was just tremendous.
People don't.
But I know the cars have just
I
exploded,
saw
haven't they?
when we were moving.
But he got a good deal on it for me.
Oh, good.
We was
It was
about ready to stand up, and that's when the guy said, okay, let me go talk to my sales manager. And of course, we bought it.
Good for
Owned
you.
it for about 10 years.
Yeah, that when we were moving back about in September, I found some boxes of stuff I had boxed up when we moved the first time 30-something years ago.
And you never unboxed it.
Never unboxed it, and so I was going through it. Some of it was stuff my mom had given us and it's dishes and stuff we just never needed, never
Right,
unboxed.
exactly. I've got
now
some
we
of
had
those.
to unbox it and see what it was, and of course it was wrapped in newspaper.
Oh.
And I looked, and I had some ads for Adamson Ford and all these dealerships in
Yep.
Birmingham, and the prices of the cars 30-something years ago was
amazing.
amazing.
It is.
And of course, I actually found a newspaper that I had saved from the 70s. I think it was might have been 1969 or 70 when the
Apollo?
men walked on the moon.
I have a newspaper from that, too.
I do, to Birmingham News.
Yes, sir.
And I swear to God, I was looking at the best part of it is the ads for the
whatever product was being
but
sold.
but
Because
especially
that
the
was
cars.
the favored medium back then, wasn't it?
was.
Or media,
That
whatever you
was.
call
It
it.
was I mean, that and TV was really big. Well, radio was too then, but yeah, newspapers. That was where you sold ads.
Exactly.
And
I worked for the Clanton Advertiser when I was in high school.
Did you really?
Right here in Clanton, I sure did.
I wish there were more. I love newspapers, and they just struggled, and they don't exist much anymore.
Well, I tried to remain a Birmingham News subscriber.
I did till the very end.
I was, and it was like when they told me they were going from 3 to 1.
I know.
Remember, they went from 7 to
week.
3 was bad enough, and they promised it would be quote more content.
There wasn't.
It
It was more
wasn't.
ads, less content.
It was like I just can't do this anymore. I
Do you
hated
remember
to
when
do
we
it. I
had
hated
two
to see it.
newspapers?
The Post Herald.
Post Herald in the morning and the
I do
Birmingham
remember.
News at night.
I do remember. Now
I
we
do.
took the news. I think that was the best thing we could get down here in Clanton.
Yeah.
Just because of
Because it was later in the day.
That's
you could
right.
Get all the,
And,
they
I
would
think it was
literally print
Mr.
the Post Herald at
Mims.
2 in the morning, 1 in the morning, midnight.
I think Mr. Mims was our newspaper guy. He had kind of a lazy eye. One of those guys that you look at, you're really not sure where to look. You know what I mean?
Which one to look at?
Which eye do you look at? It's probably the one that's looking at you, but you couldn't help but look at the other one. But he was just so nice. He would say, Miss Ellison, that's 60 cents this week or something ridiculously low. And I give credit to Birmingham News for when I worked for the advertiser. Mike Kelly was a publisher. I don't know if you had known him back in those days, but he asked me one time. He said, "Well, where did you learn to write?" And I said, "Well, I was just Alf Van Hoos and who were some of those other guys? Clyde Bolton. What was that other guy? Man, he was, and of course, Feinbaum.
Alec
Harvey was in Montgomery, wasn't he?
No, he's Birmingham.
Oh, I was thinking he was Montgomery.
Yeah. I was friends with Alec. My dad was his dentist.
I went to work after I graduated high school and finished at the Advertiser. I went to Auburn, and I thought it would be fun to work for the Auburn Plainsman, which is the newspaper there. And so Mr. Kelly, Mike Kelly, knew somebody over there, and he called them and said, "Hey, would you give this guy a chance?" And they said, "Well, sure, tell him to come by." Well, the story I got to do, Bill, was it was the first expansion of the Auburn Stadium where they added the first upper deck. It wasn't the first expansion of Jordan-Hare. They added the first upper deck, which I think was on the east side. I believe I'm right. So I went, and they actually sent a photographer with me. I was always used to being, doing everything, So I had a photographer with me, and I went to talk to a guy named Buddy Davison, who was like with David Housel. They were just true Auburn men. They were working for it's like a dream job for them. That's the way he described it to me. So we talked to him about it, got all the yay and nays or whatever about it, and then we went out to the stadium, and he let us go in, and we got to get some good pictures for the article. So I'll go back, and there's a guy named Rick Harmon. I don't know if that name rings a bell, but he was the guy. That's the guy I was thinking about when I said Alex Harvey. Rick Harmon was the editor later of the Montgomery Advertiser.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was like that was his going to be his career, his calling.
Right.
But he was just a student, just like me back then, So he comes in, and I've turned in a handwritten article. I mean, I had a typewriter, but I wrote it by hand. Turned it in. He changes the opening. He says, "You need to smooth the opening or something like that." So that's cool. You're the editor. You do it.
Yeah.
And then we got through, and he says, "Well, look, now on your next assignment, I need you to." I don't remember. I wish I could remember what that next assignment would have been, but I was a struggling college student, Bill. I needed a job. That's what I thought I had. So I go, "Well, I appreciate that very much. I want to go," because he was like really excited. Thought I could do a good job for him. And he says, "Okay, send the photographer out. Be here whatever time." I said, "Well, before we do that," I said, "I haven't filled out any paperwork. You don't know where to send my paycheck." He said, "Oh," he says, "all this is strictly volunteer." And
No
I'm like,
way.
"Well, thank you. I cannot work here anymore because I need a job with a little cash."
Right.
I was a student, like I said. So that was my end of my
Your one shot.
my newspaper career. I would love to go back, and I'm sure they have it because I've been able to go back to the Advertiser, and for 4 years I can look at every article I ever wrote and every picture I ever took.
Really?
Yeah, I can. It was a great experience, of course, Some funny things about politics I learned, that I was too
yeah.
naive. I didn't know back then, and the power of the press, so to speak. But
I think we're all a little naive even now when it comes to some of the politics.
yeah, I'm sure we are. But anyway, I'm sure. I mean, that doesn't compare to what you could tell. But that was one of the
No,
funniest
it
things
is. That's
where the
neat.
guy says, "Oh, this is all volunteer." I'm like, I'm not working here then.
Volunteer? No, sir.
I mean, that was back when it was $2 an hour was a minimum wage. So, you weren't making much anyway. But, as my mama would say, that's your $2.
Right.
But
and back then, $2 could get you a lot.
You get a meal, that's for sure.
Give you some gas money and some food.
You could get a meal. Yep, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, a couple of our other sponsors here that we need to mention. We mentioned Larry Puckett and Putter Up, Bama Benefits, Kim Robinson, This and That Vinyl, and Workout Anytime. We've had a great list of sponsors, about a dozen. And been
They
with
are
me
wonderful.
the whole time I've been here, which was like December, I think my first time to be on the air. Well, tell me about you getting started in the career. How did you? Is it something you wanted to do when you were younger?
Well, I tell people as a joke, the reason I went into radio is strictly because I did not want to be a dentist. My dad was a dentist and an oral surgeon.
Okay, how about that?
I was his oldest child, his only son, and his namesake. I'm a junior. And so I grew up always, he didn't push it, but I always felt the obligation to go to dental school and go into practice with him and take over his practice. He had a huge practice in Birmingham. So as it got closer and I got into high school, I was always gregarious and I was always doing stuff, and I liked theater and I liked public speaking, that kind of stuff. And I played around with tape recorders even when I was a little kid, doing mock shows and stuff, just fiddling, just for fun. So I got into college and I was getting on up into I was taking all pre-med, taking all the, the science
Were you
stuff.
going to Tuscaloosa?
I went to Marion Military Institute for 2 years of college, high school and 2 years of college.
Okay.
Then I switched to Alabama. I was still doing the pre-med stuff. And my inner voice was screaming at me that first of all, the thought of being a dentist was horrible to me. Working in people's mouths on just a tiny little space in the back of their mouth for hours every day just seemed incredibly boring, hard, tedious, nasty,
tedious,
everything bad. Yeah. And I'm impatient. So I don't do well when
Miss Mary, is that true? Go ahead.
Oh, it is true. She'll tell you.
Yeah.
And, like just building models when you're a kid, I tried to get through it so fast that they always came out crappy. I rarely made
Started
a really
out with good intentions, but
right. But
I couldn't do models either.
Yeah. I'd be just trying to get it done.
I have glue all over me.
Everywhere.
It's like
You're
I
right.
couldn't do it.
And you can't do that in somebody's mouth.
No, you can't make a mistake.
I got to my junior year and I was, I'd already pre-applied to dental school at UAB and all this stuff. And my inner voice was just saying, you're screwing up bad. So I got the guts up one night and I went home from Tuscaloosa to my dad in Vestavia. And I went in, he was reading the paper and watching TV. And I said, Dad, can I talk to you a second? He said, sure. Put the paper down. I said, look, Dad, I got to be honest with you. I just can't be a dentist. He said, well, I can understand that. He said, it's a hard job, tedious. You got to want to do it. You got to find pleasure in it or it'll drive you crazy.
Sure.
And he said, there's a lot of dentists that commit suicide, that are on drugs and drink too much because they're miserable. And he said, so I understand that. What do you want to do? Now he's thinking, I'm going to say, I just want to be an MD, maybe just a general practitioner, doctor. Or maybe I'm going to specialize in something medical, something professional. And boy, did I throw him a curve. And I said, Dad, I think I want to go into radio and be a disc jockey, be a radio announcer. And he looked at me and blinked twice and said, for how long? I said, that's what I want to do. So it was not a very pleasant night in the Lawson household for 20 years.
Oh, it was little tension there.
It was bad tension because here he did, had a college degree. All of his buddies' kids were orthodontists, dentists, surgeons, veterinary, all these professions.
Yeah.
And his son was a radio announcer, a disc jockey. And, you know, when you work on this business, when you started out, you barely made minimum wage. They were smart back then. They knew you wanted to do it with a passion, so they had you that way. And what they would do is they'd put you on a salary so they could work you 80 hours a week, but only pay you for 40. And they'd pay you less than minimum wage, basically. I mean, they would figure out what the minimum was, and that's what they paid.
Basically what it equated
so I was
to.
struggling for the first 10 years of my career, from the time I was 23, 22, whenever you get out of college.
That's about
till
right.
I was 30-something.
Yeah.
I mean, I was always a waiter in a restaurant part-time and doing other jobs because I couldn't make a living in radio. And then when I got married, I wanted to have a family. It really got tight. The only thing that was good was my ex-wife worked for the phone company and made a really good salary.
That would be probably.
It was Bell South.
I was trying to say Bell
it was South
South.
Central Bell back
South Central
then.
Bell. I
before
remember
divestiture.
Bell. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
before divestiture. So it was just the phone company, and she made much better money than I did. So finally, I started doing better. You know, at least getting on. When I started doing better with ratings and sales and stuff, I started making more of a decent living, and that helped a little with my dad.
When did Dollar Bill come to life, so to speak?
I had a guy.
I guess you didn't start out as Dollar
No,
Bill.
I was just Bill
like you said,
Lawson.
you were developing it, right?
Yeah,
Like
well,
you
I
were just
wasn't-
saying.
I was just trying to be on the air. I didn't even think about a persona. And I had this crazy
Somebody
program
gave you-
director come in one morning, and he had read an article in one of the trade magazines, Radio and Records, R&R, something like that, that said every disc jockey should have a nickname because people remembered nicknames much better than they do just a name. And that made a little sense. So he called a staff meeting one day, and we had Jay Michaels on the air. We had Bob Sterling, who was a Cajun, on the air. They had me. They had, I forgot the other
That
couple
Jay
other
Michaels
guys.
sounds familiar.
Oh, he was in
Okay.
radio. He was on SGN,
Okay.
ZZK.
And I would have probably heard him.
You would have.
Yeah.
And he did
Yeah.
he did the voice of Standard Furniture commercials for 30 years. He did Ford. I mean, he was a big voice. Jay Michaels. His real name was Tony Artavino, but he went by Jay Michaels. Well, this boss decided we all had to have nicknames. So he came in one day, and we were all in there for a meeting, and usually meetings were not good. You know, if they
This
had
is
a
in
meeting.
Birmingham?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
All
ZZK.
right. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize
Yeah,
it was.
no, this is WZZK 1047. So he came in and he said, okay, you all got to start using nicknames on the air. And we're going, oh my God. So he turned to Jay Michaels and said, you're going to be Crazy Jay. Crazy Jay Michaels. So he said, whatever. We all kind of figured this would last about 2 weeks and then just fall off.
Something will change.
He turned to Bob Sterling, who was a Cajun, and said, you're Cajun Bob. Cajun Bob went, okay, whatever.
Oh.
He went all through, and then he turned to me and said, and I was Bill Lawson on the air. He said, you're Grocery Bag Bill. And I said, what? Everybody started laughing.
Yeah.
He said, well, you're giving away $50 worth of Food World groceries every day. It was a promotion. I said, it's a promotion. You're not calling me. I'm not going. I'm not going to be Grocery Bag Bill. He said, okay, what about Crazy Bill? I said, he's Crazy Jay.
Yeah.
And there's Crazy Bill's Fireworks. Nope. He said, okay, well, what about Wild Bill? I said, nope. It was a guy that just left town that was on our competitor named Wild Bill. I don't want people thinking we're the same
Like
one.
he just moved over.
Yeah, he just left and went to Mobile, but he had been on our competitor. He said, well, what do you want? I said, I don't know. I've never thought about it. I said, let's come up with a list and we'll go over it tomorrow. We don't have to pick it today. So the next day I went in his office and sat down. He had some other stupid ones. And then he said, what about Bill Dollar? There was two pretty famous Bill Dollars in the nation. There was one in Cincinnati and there was one on the West Coast.
Radio guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Morning guys.
Yeah.
And they were known as Bill Dollar. I said, no, I don't know. There's two already got that and they're kind of famous. He said, what about Dollar Bill? I said, Dollar Bill? Well, I said, that's kind of catchy and it's no, I didn't know of it. There was no internet then, but I didn't know of any other dollar bills.
Right.
I
No,
said, okay.
no
So I
internet.
figured, he'll call me that for 2 weeks. I'll call myself that and it'll be done.
But I wanted to ask you a minute ago when you were telling the story about the Volkswagen and the clothes going everywhere. Did you get the light of the, did you turn the light on your cell phone to help you find everything?
Yep.
Of course, there was no cell
No
phones.
cell phones.
No. And
Nope.
when you said moonlight, I'm like, there's no reason to ask about the lights. 'Cause
Right.
I was just
I
trying to
didn't
make a
even have
joke.
a flashlight. Yeah,
Exactly.
Right. Well,
oh
you're
my
right.
gosh.
People today don't
So,
remember what it was like not to have a
did
cell
you
phone.
start in Birmingham?
Nope, I started in Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa, while you were still a student?
While I was
or-
a student.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Was it the campus or the university station or?
I did that one and a local station, WACT, which stands for Alabama Crimson Tide. WACT was a guy named Clyde Price owned it. Everybody knew him as the old syrup sopper.
See, he had a nickname.
Yep. He was one of the original members of what is now the CMA. He and 8 other disc jockeys, country disc
Syrup
jockeys
sopper.
started.
Now that's a singer, right?
That he's not a singer.
But what was a syrup sopper? You mean literally sopping syrup with a biscuit?
He was a biscuit sopper.
Okay.
Syrup sopper.
I was thinking that was another name like a crooner or something, but
I
maybe
don't-
not.
I don't
Maybe I'm
know of
wrong
one,
about
yeah.
that.
But he was the old syrup sopper. Everybody knew him as Syrup Sopper.
Excuse me.
Clyde Price.
Yeah.
So then I left Tuscaloosa and went to Selma and worked in Selma for a couple of years. And when I first went there, Craig Air Force Base was still on, and it was a vibrant little city.
I remember I played golf over there several
Well,
times.
they closed
And the golf
it down
course
and the
went
city
right
died.
between it,
They had great little golf course out there.
I remember. Yeah.
Yep. So and then I
remember
left
when it
Selma and
closed.
went to Muscle Shoals, and I worked. My boss was a guy named Sam Phillips, who was the guy that found Elvis.
Really, the same Sam Phillips.
Same Sam Phillips.
Wow. What do they call it? Sun Studios?
Sun Records.
Sun Records. Okay.
He was from Florence. That was his hometown.
Right.
But he went to Memphis and made his name there, And he owned 2 radio stations. He owned WLVS for Elvis in Memphis, and he owned WQLT in Florence. And he had an AM too. And I was his program director. And so I knew Sam really well.
How about that?
Yeah, it was neat. He was an odd character, complicated man. He was a alcoholic. He drank a lot. But the weird thing, he was smart as a whip. And the thing is, they always told me, they said, if he ever meets you and hears your name, he won't forget it. And I went, really? I don't know about that. Well, I stopped working for him in like 1979 and came to Birmingham to work at Kicks and ERC. And I didn't see him again for 15 years, but they had a big air show up in Cortland, Alabama, which is up
Just
near
below
Moulton.
Florence. I know
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
That's basically where the RTJ is now, the Robert Trent Jones Golf Course.
Yep,
It's right there outside of Cortland.
out of Cortland.
Yep.
Cortland had a huge World War II air base there during the war.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was huge. And it had
Right on the Tennessee River, basically.
Yeah, it was in the valley, so it was all flat.
Right.
And they had a massive thing. I mean, this was during World War II, during the war years, it was a massive active bomber base. It was B-25s, Mitchells, and maybe B-24 Liberators. And once the war ended, they just shut it down.
Nicknames.
And it just became, matter of fact, kids would go out and
drag race on
drag
there.
race
I
on
heard
the
about
runways.
stuff like that
Yeah.
on old airfields.
But they did reopen it as the local airport up there with one of the runways. Beautiful little airport out in the middle of that big flatlands between the mountains. And I went up there to go. I enjoyed the air shows. Because I did air shows and I was flying. So me and a couple of buddies
That's
went
right.
up there. We look over and there's QLT from Florence doing a live remote. And I look over and Sam Phillips is standing there.
How about that?
Now, this would have been in like 1980, 86. So I hadn't seen him since 79. This is 86. So I just said, I'm going to go over and reintroduce myself and tell him, thanks for letting me work for you.
Right.
I left on good terms. It was no problem.
Right. Exactly.
So I walk over and he looked up and went, Bill Lawson. So it's true. This guy, if he ever met you, because I mean, he lived in Memphis, so it wasn't like he was my boss and I saw him every day.
Exactly.
I saw him 5-6 times a year.
Right.
Because we had a general manager and he'd come over and do. And it's funny because he would come in to do a staff meeting. 3, 4, 5 times a year, and would always be at 10 o'clock, right when the morning shows got off, and everybody could gather, and the guys that worked afternoons and nights would come in early just for the meeting. And he did the meeting with Jack Daniels in a black bag. He would rip the top off the Jack Daniels.
Seen a few like that.
Yeah, and turn the bag around and do the whole meeting talking and drinking.
I bet the end of those meetings got kind of interesting, didn't it?
Well, I mean, I think he drank. I don't know. You couldn't tell he'd been drinking.
Right, exactly.
That was just him.
That was him.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So you left Florence in the
came to
late
Birmingham.
70s. You came to Birmingham, and then you never left Birmingham.
Nope.
How about
Birmingham was my home, so I never wanted to go anywhere but back to Birmingham. I wanted to live in Birmingham.
Did you go to Banks High School? Or?
No, I went to Shades Valley
Shades
one year.
Valley, okay.
Then I went to Berry one year.
Okay.
And that's when I was doing so well in school. My dad shipped me off to Marion Military Institute. So I did my senior year at Marion, 2 years of college, and then went to Alabama.
How about that?
Yeah.
All right, so you're in Birmingham. You work for ERC to begin with?
and Kicks.
Well, that's a pretty big station. How'd you get that? Or just that they heard
Believe
about
it
you
or
in
not,
Florence?
you remember
or?
Mark and Brian, the big disc jockeys that
Sort of.
They were in Birmingham and they went straight to L.A. and became the #1 morning show in L.A. for like 10 years. I'll tell you how good they did. I remember talking to Mark and I. Mark was from Florence, and I worked with Mark. He worked under me in Florence. Then he came to Birmingham to work at ERC.
I think was it QLT?
QLT and XOR was an AM country we had too.
Yeah.
So he comes to Birmingham, and he called me one day and said, "You always talk to me about wanting to come back to your hometown, Birmingham. They're looking for a guy to work at ERC to do overnights or something and whatever." It turned out helicopter reporter too, but I didn't know that at the time. So I went and interviewed and took it, and so Mark got me the job. Mark later went to Montgomery for a little while and worked at
WLWI?
Yes,
Yeah.
WLWI. Then he came back to Birmingham, and they paired him up with a guy named Brian from Chicago, and they got so famous. He went to L.A., and the third year he was in L.A., they were both making, you ready for this? This is back in the 80s, $24 million a year. Wow. $24 million a year. Both of them. They weren't splitting it. That's how much money there was to be made in L.A. at the time.
Wow.
He did that for...
I didn't think there were enough minutes, enough commercials you could run to earn $24 million, but I guess
the fact is that dollar a holler is not what they know out there. When you pay for a commercial, you pay for a commercial,
well,
and they play residuals
LA,
too.
And it was the #1 show, so
Right.
I'm sure all that was priced in. You might say, right?
I know one thing that killed me was Budweiser did a commercial one year back in the 90s, and I still remember the commercial because I just couldn't believe it. It was a picture of in L.A., and it showed L.A. simmering in the hot summer sun, people stuck on the interstate not moving, the heat, you could see the waves of heat, everybody sitting in their cars just dying, and there was a billboard on one side of the interstate and a billboard on the other side. One was a really pretty girl in a bikini pushing suntan lotion, the other one's Budweiser. And so, turn that off. While everybody's sitting there dying of the heat, you hear Mark and Brian on the car radio in the car go, "It's going to be really hot today. Hot, hot, hot. It's going to be 100 degrees. Hot, hot, hot." That's all they'd said.
Yeah.
Mark said, "It's going to be hot today." Brian said, "Hot, hot, hot." He said, "Over 100 degrees. Hot, hot, hot." All right, that's all they say. You don't see them. You just hear it they show the radio.
Right.
I think they did say, "Mark and Brian in L.A., it's going to be hot." Anyway. Then they show the girl in the billboard who's suntanning. It's hot. She reaches over the interstate,
grabs a beer
out of that and drinks it. And then suddenly it's snowing in L.A.
Oh.
And you hear Mark and Brian back on the thing going, "It's really cold today. Cold, cold, cold." That's all they did. So they did maybe 20 seconds of audio. They got paid millions for that because it ran nationwide. So they got paid a huge amount to cut it. And I didn't know this because I'm in Birmingham. That big amount to do that commercial only pays for like 4 months. If they run it after 4 months, they get paid again. And if they run it after 4 months, they pay them again. And if it ever runs even once, 10 years later, they get paid something. So they went out that first 6 months.
Had a
and there
good
were-
attorney representing them.
that's just what they do. That's
Yeah.
standard out there.
Oh, okay.
They would have a stack of envelopes, and they didn't know what was going to happen, but they would go out to their mailbox, and there'd be like 9 envelopes, all paying residuals from different markets. Like they'd have from LA, that might be a $1 million check. The next check might be for $600,000 from Chicago. Another check for $200,000 from Milwaukee.
And then 1,200 from Birmingham.
Or 500.
Just kidding, man.
No,
Just
it's
kidding.
true.
You know,
As
it was
the market-
less, a lot
as
less.
the markets go down,
Right, right.
they do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they said one time they did a thing for the Super Bowl or something and showed a compilation of old Budweiser commercials, and that was one of them. They got paid a couple of $1,000s because they ran it one time.
Wow.
10 years later.
How big?
I couldn't get over it. Now I'm in Birmingham, lucky to make $10 a day, doing work. But anyway, so Mark got me the job there, and I stayed there, and then I went over to ZZK in '84.
Now that's the Bull, right?
Nope, the Bull was next.
I'm
ZZK
sorry.
was 104.7 is WZZK.
Okay.
And I stayed there 20 years about, and then they fired us. We were number 1 in the market, and they fired us. Go figure.
Yeah, somebody's brilliant idea.
It was.
I ran into a few corporate ideas like that in my time too.
Well, we did get bought out by a different company.
Yeah.
And so
That's
Cox
part of
bought
it.
them out and fired a lot of people. No, I went over to the Bull, which at that time was Country 102.5, Country 102.5. And then we changed it to the Bull when Patty and I went there. It was Patty and Dollar Bill.
Oh,
And,
I listened many times.
well, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for lowering your standards enough to listen
Oh,
to
it
us.
was hilarious. Y'all were
We
great.
had a great
y'all,
time.
Y'all had a great time.
We did. Patty
And
was
I
a
think
character.
everybody who listened had a great time.
We did. It was
listening to you.
Patty was a character. Whew. Anyway, so I was there for 22
Patty
years.
was the character. Well, that's not what she
Believe
said.
it or not. Oh, she'll tell you she was the. Listen, that
It's
woman.
a joke. I was
Yeah,
trying to
I
be
know.
funny.
did a
You were
good
the character.
I was not the character. Oh my God.
Yeah, but
Patty
you knew how to
was.
play her though, right? Or y'all played off each other real well,
yeah,
obviously.
Listen, that woman was I don't know if you ever saw her, but she was about a 350-pound, 6 foot tall, shockingly huge blonde hair, big old chest, big old butt nudist.
Oh,
Who also was
wasn't expecting that last description.
Bingo, nobody was. She'd
Yeah.
come to work every morning in nothing but a T-shirt. No underwear, no panties, no bra, no shoes, just a T-shirt. And she was a big woman. And she was also a chain smoker. She smoked 5 to 6 packs a day.
And you smoked on you could smoke on the air. I mean,
You could
nobody was
then,
gonna
and
no one's
then
gonna
as
say
the
anything.
years went on, you couldn't.
Right.
And that was one part of her demise.
I'm trying to get Baden to let us smoke in here.
Yeah, I could I'd fire up a cigar. And then she also was was quite a drinker. And so she
Oh.
drank a lot of scotch and champagne. That was her 2 favorite things.
Okay.
And we actually had to keep, poor thing was alcoholic.
Right.
And so we had to keep a locker at the radio station full of liquor because some mornings when she came in, had not had anything to drink since maybe early the night before. And she'd start having DTs, delirium tremors. She'd start
shaking and
shaking.
stuff. Yeah.
And I'd have to go fix her a coffee, a special coffee.
Bring it
which
out in a
was-
mug.
Yeah, make
Of
it
course,
out
I
in a
don't guess
mug.
it mattered.
And
What-
it would be 3/4 Irish whiskey and a splash of coffee.
Well, when did you get into the podcast, kind of like we're doing now? The podcasting,
exist.
not until this.
Didn't exist.
I know it didn't, but at some
Yeah.
point, I seem to recall
I mean, she died.
some disc jockeys tried to take their act, if you will, or their show to television. That's
Well,
why I was asking.
That's
Did that
true,
ever?
but the problem is we did do a lot we were tied in directly with Fox 6,
Okay.
Channel 6.
Yeah, ERC, right?
Yeah. Well, no,
Well,
this
no,
one
that's
was
right. That was when you were at the
this one
different
was
station, though.
ZZK, yeah.
My bad.
And we had, but we had cameras actually back
They're
then. They brought
BRC
cameras in
anyway.
and put them in the control room so that they could cut to us just like they could cut to a reporter in the field or whatever. And we did regular bits with the
Well, I
morning
guarantee
show.
I saw that because I've always watched Channel 6.
We did stuff with
Up until
well,
recently.
mainly with Janice Rogers.
Right.
Janice and I have been friends since she was in high school. So we had a great rapport, and they'd come to us, and especially if they were going to talk about the passing of a big country star or a big concert, they'd always come to us. But we had to do a bit with Channel 6 and their morning show with every day.
Yeah.
We'd have to time it so we were in a break,
Right.
playing music or in news or something, so we could focus and do our thing on Channel 6 and then come back and be on the air.
Sure.
But it was great. It was
that took
neat.
some,
But there were no
planning.
podcasts, but also the radio station back then owned you outright. You couldn't back then do a podcast if they existed because they wouldn't let you. They would have to control everything. They owned you. They owned you as a product. So if you wanted to do a bit with another station in another state, it didn't matter. You had to get their permission first. And that was for anything you did because they believed that you were their product, so they owned you.
I suspect they didn't always give you that permission, did they?
They didn't a lot of times
Yeah.
because they can perceive, a lot of them didn't understand that really all publicity, if it's positive, is great publicity. But they'd get weird about what they wanted you to
Yeah,
do
exactly.
and not
Weird
do.
is a good term.
Yeah, they were strange. And there were times that, now I will say this, there were times when I asked if I could do something for another station in another city or state that had nothing to do with us in Birmingham, but maybe our company owned stations that were on a competing on the other side. Well,
Yeah.
see, they wouldn't let you do that.
Well, I know you're talking. You're just answering my questions. I'm asking you about it, and you're not bragging. This is not bragging.
No.
I just want to make sure that you understand when I ask you this. I'm not asking you to brag, but tell us about some of the awards that you've won. Because I imagine they're just. You got like a wall full of them at home, or
No,
are those in some of those boxes that you're talking about?
I got a pile of them in boxes. I do
Yeah.
have my biggest pride, I guess, is that I'm one of only 2 Alabamians ever inducted into the Country Radio Hall of Fame.
I just was figuring you had to be in some Hall of Fame somewhere.
Nashville, Tennessee. I did that about
Wow.
3 or 4 years ago. They inducted me, and I think the only other one from Alabama was Joe Rumore. He
I
got
remember Joe
inducted.
Rumore.
Remember Joe Rumore in Birmingham?
From Birmingham.
I think we're the only 2 Alabamians in the Country Radio Hall of Fame in Nashville. And I got to do that. And the performers the night that I got inducted was
that
Garth Brooks.
Was that at the Grand Ole Opry?
It was.
I just was just going to ask, did you ever get to?
It was amazing. Garth Brooks and
That would be the
Trisha
Ryman
Yearwood.
Auditorium downtown, or was it
Well,
the
no,
one?
we did it in the
the new
Opryland
one?
thing.
The
Yeah.
new one, yeah. That's exactly Opryland. That's
Right.
exactly right. It's just north of there a little
Right.
bit. Wow.
So Barbara Mandrell was that night, came in there, and it was amazing. That's probably my most, that and the fact that I actually emceed the Grand Ole Opry one night
You did.
on WSM. Yeah, I got to be a guest announcer one night. and
Well,
that
who
was another-
were the acts that
Oh my
night?
God!
Do you remember?
Jeannie Seeley, Jim Ed Brown, Kentucky Headhunters, maybe.
Yeah.
And I've forgotten who else, but
Walk Softly on My Heart. And
yeah, that was a great night. So
Dumas Walker.
Dumas
Dumas Walker.
Walker, I
was
love
one of
that
that was
song.
their big one of their big hits
let's
back
all
then.
go down, see Dumas Walker.
That's right.
They want a bottle of cheeseburger slaw and a cheeseburger something and a bottle of ski.
Ski.
And I never knew what ski was, but it's a regional drink up in South or North Carolina. SKEE. It'd be like Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Exactly, or
Bottle of ski.
Grapico.
Grapico
That's a
in
local. That's a local.
Birmingham, yeah.
RC Cola was started over in Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
then
a
I
local
did
one.
get I got
Even
what's called
Coca-Cola is
the
local.
the humanitarian award with Blake Shelton one year. He and I got him. That he got it for performer, and I got it for radio work because I've done charity work so much.
Man, that is fantastic. I love to hear all this. Like I said, I know you're not bragging.
No,
I just
I'm
wanted
not.
to know.
I still think on that. Dollar Bill is now in the Country Radio Hall of Fame. I think Dollar Jill somewhere is really mad at me because I think they made a mistake putting me in there. I think it should have been Dollar
I
Jill.
have a
Dollar Jill
feeling-
should be up there.
I
not
have a
me.
feeling there was no mistake there at all. But,
It's amazing. It's a great career. That's what I like about what y'all are doing here so much, because when I started in radio in 72, 73, radio was the king of being connected to the community. TV couldn't connect like radio could. Newspapers didn't connect like radio. They could report stuff and have all this ads and stuff, but it didn't feel as personal. radio was one-on-one. Radio was a good friend talking to you or listening to two friends talk, and music and local stuff. And of course, radio would go everywhere. They do baseball games, football games.
Right.
They support the local high schools. They would go to the county fair. They would do remotes at car dealerships and stores and
Exactly,
stuff.
sure.
You were out and about and you were connected. And also, radio's the only ones that could afford to give charities a bunch of publicity because it didn't really cost them much. And so we could support Children's Hospital of Alabama, St. Jude's Hospital. We could have, help
with airtime. Is that what you're
everything?
basically?
Airtime, free spots. The disc jockeys could go MC for them, play music for an event if they're doing the walk for
or
Easter
anything.
seals
Right,
or
like
whatever,
having their own banquet or
some
whatever.
families got a kid that's got leukemia. We'd go out there and show up at a bike ride or something, and that's the only places stuff like that exist. And now with consolidation of most radio stations by big corporations, nobody's live and local anymore. There is no radio newspaper hardly anymore. I mean, the one here in town, I'm so glad we still have the Clanton, was it Advertiser? Yeah.
And we have the Chilton County News.
Right.
Two of them.
Very rare.
They're both published.
There's nothing in Birmingham much
once
anymore.
a weekly. Well, I guess is the Birmingham News even publishing? I don't think they are.
I don't
think they
know.
stopped.
They're done.
Didn't they?
They're all
and I know
done.
Montgomery Advertiser shut down. They don't.
Tuscaloosa News is
They're
gone.
not. Well, actually, the Advertiser is printed, but it's owned by Gannett.
Right.
Which is
So
USA
it's
Today.
a syndicated thing.
That's all it is. There's no
Syndicated,
local,
nothing
very little
local.
local stuff, like you said.
So radio is the only thing that really has hung on to some of that, but not anymore. This station, Piper Peach Radio, is dedicated to getting out in the community. And
That's
I mean,
right.
all of Chilton County. They don't just do Clanton. I mean, we're talking Thorsby,
We were just in Maplesville
Jemison,
Saturday
Maplesville,
with a huge
Billingsley,
crowd, probably
Isabella.
What, 500-700 people there?
Yeah.
All told? I mean, just everywhere there was people.
And you're there.
And very
covering
loud
it.
speakers, if y'all
And
recall.
Y'all have helped the politicians in towns when, poor old Jemison pretty much turned everything over this last year. Everybody ran for new. It was a complete turnover. Mayor, city council,
That's right.
everything. And nobody could have kept up with all the different candidates if y'all hadn't had that forum you had.
That's right.
I mean, this is a rare jewel that's happening here. And it's a little hard for some people to do the Piper Peach Radio because it's streaming. It's different from what they're used to. It's not bad. It's fun. It's good. But you have to learn it's different in little ways.
Learn how to access it.
Learn how to get it.
That's the biggest
and that's
thing,
the
I
big
think.
thing.
Yeah.
And so it's great. I'm just so appreciative of Baden and what's being done here in Clanton for Piper Peach Radio. It is basically the radio station of the future if you want radio that's going to still be supporting your local community and where you live, your community. Because like where I work, the companies, I worked for iHeart, massive company, massive.
Worldwide.
Hundreds of radio stations, hundreds. And yet nobody's live and local. Tuscaloosa, there was 4 stations in Tuscaloosa. There's nobody there. It's an empty building with automated stuff. Gadsden used to have 3 stations, nobody there, empty building,
Right.
automated. Huntsville, Decatur had DRM, which was people couldn't believe all through the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. They had ratings in their community. They owned the community. They had 35s. And if you don't know what that means, you're lucky to have a 7. If you have a rating of a 7 or 8, you're top of the heap.
Cooking with gas.
They had 35s.
35.
Yeah.
So 5 times that.
Easy.
Wow.
So nobody's 2 people are there now. They're down to 2 people.
That's
in
amazing.
Birmingham, we had 38 people to 40 people on our staff. There's now 6 people.
How about that? Isn't that something how that has happened?
Yeah, they
But
just
all businesses
big
have tried to find
corporations-
ways to trim.
They found ways
Automation.
They've automated.
That's really the key.
They've also syndicated, and so used to be like we're doing here, talking live right here in Clanton, in Chilton County. We're responsive to anybody's needs or wants or whatever. If we can help, we want to do it.
Local guests.
In Birmingham, the morning show may or may not be live. the midday guys from St. Louis, the afternoon guys from San Antonio, the night guys from Kentucky. And they're doing a show on 2 and 3 stations at the same time. So nothing is live or local.
I had no idea it was that far advanced, or I don't know if you call it advanced or
not. You go to any of
not.
those stations in Birmingham, ZZK's about the same way. They got Rick, formerly of Rick and Bubba. Rick's doing a morning show, but it's syndicated, so it's on like 4 stations all over the South. He's got like 3 in Alabama, and I think 1 in Georgia, maybe 1 in Tennessee. He may have 5 stations. So he can't be from Birmingham. He's got to be just his show from all places.
From his
so
garage or something, huh? Literally.
He's just got to be universal.
Gets him a nice green wall behind him, and he be anywhere, can't he?
He just, and he doesn't even
If you
worry
can
about
connect.
being anywhere. He's got a studio that's the Rick Burgess studio, and he just does it. You don't know where he is. He doesn't have to say he's from Birmingham. He's in Birmingham. He can say, he's just the Rick Burgess
Could
show.
be anywhere.
And it'd be anywhere. And so nobody else is live on ZZK either. They're trying to find somebody to come in and do, I think, afternoons live, because they've seen the degrading of ratings because people are just feeling that it's not local and anymore, and they're going to to the phones, they're going to the streaming services. So it's a shame. It's radio, corporate radio today is nothing like it was even just 8 to 10 years ago.
So how did you come to end up here at Piper Beach Radio? Who did you
Baden
meet
found a picture of me and a goat in compromising position, and you know.
Well, we'll be right back after these words.
No, Baden did. We talked, and he was trying to start something in this radio station that it's kind of hard to do because it's hard to monetize it, and you got to have the money to buy the equipment,
little capital to get going,
just to survive.
Well, that too.
It's not all. This isn't public radio,
No,
and
it
even
isn't.
they're struggling. They have to ask people to give money,
That's right.
every year, a couple of times, 3 times a year. But so I just appreciated what he was trying to do, and I was about retirement age. I was retired, so
Yeah.
I love coming down and trying to help any way I can. I don't know that I do help much, but I like what's going on here, and I hope it's totally successful.
Oh, it's a huge success with you. I mean, people at my church, you asked me where it was at Middle Springs, they talk about Dollar Bill all the time, and because we all know you from way back.
Oh, growing up,
from
I've been
years
I was
past.
on the air 50 years.
How about that?
50 years.
That's pretty darn amazing.
It is.
Well,
Even
look
I think so, because it went so fast. That's what's frightening.
Well, we're not through yet, are we, Bill?
No, I guess we aren't.
We're not through yet. Well,
But we're about out of time for today.
We are. This has been fantastic. I want to also thank Bama Benefits, Kim Robinson, This and That Vinyl, Workout Anytime. Farmers Furniture is a relatively new sponsor of ours. We appreciate them.
Yeah.
And then Wood Surfside Marina. I would like to be out there today on the marina
Yes.
doing something.
You know,
on the water.
yesterday, for Mother's Day, I took Mary, and she has her best friend is a woman named Jeanette, one of her best friends.
Yeah.
And Jeanette's husband was out of town. He's the COO of this big company out of Florida, and he was out of town. So he called me and said, would I get some flowers and a card for his wife? And he had already gotten her a little present. He called her, of course, that morning. He was down in Orlando working. So we went over to she lives next to us at our lake place at La Coosa.
Okay.
So we went down about 3 in the afternoon, picked up Jeanette, or we went down there and visited her with her a little while. And then I took her and Mary to dinner at a place called the Point Grill. And so right on the lake, it's beautiful. And so while I was down there at our lake place, we're next door to each other, I just sat on her deck up there and looked out, and it was so beautiful. I mean, you remember how pretty it was yesterday afternoon. Plenty of sunshine, but not too hot.
I do remember. It's really unusual for this time of year.
Yeah, so cool. And it was absolutely bucolic. It was just wonderful. So I really, we're so lucky here in this part of Alabama because, if you've traveled around, there's a lot of nice places, but Alabama is just lucky because we have so many beautiful places in this state.
Diverse.
If you like the mountains, you got it. If you got the plains, you got it. Auburn's the loveliest village of the plains. You've got
The beach.
just a few miles down. You've got in Alabama, rocky, territory with mountains. You got
The Black Belt is
Belt.
some of the prettiest soil, and
just pretty land.
Stuff you'll see.
A lot of rivers, a lot of lakes. So we're very lucky. We really are. This is a great area.
well, Brian Kelly says the whole state loves dollar bills.
Well,
also.
thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
Well,
man.
again, I appreciate that we were able to do this. I've learned a lot more about you than I ever thought I
Sorry
knew.
about that.
No, I wanted
Wake
to.
up, everybody.
I wanted to.
We're
and-
stopped talking about
and
that.
we had talked about this in a staff meeting, here, that it would probably be a good idea to talk to our host and help everybody get to know him better. Now, everybody knows about you, but I guarantee you there's things that you said today that people didn't know. So that was really cool.
It's neat. It's funny when you look back at, it's your whole life you're looking forward while you're trying to build a career and do the right thing and
I do.
get a
I know.
family and get it going, all that. And then there's a point when you more like have stopped that. And I'm not saying I'm just looking back, but there's a lot more on the road behind me now than there will be. Even if I live a long life, there's not that much in front of me now.
Right, not
And
compared.
when you go over stuff like this, it's kind of surprising when you start thinking, oh my God, it's like that Volkswagen. I love that car. But I can't believe now that car, I had it a half a century ago.
Yeah.
That was back 50 years ago when I had that car.
71 would be 55 years old
Yes,
as far
sir.
as just a model year.
Yes, sir.
Much less about when you got
Isn't that
it.
amazing? And
It
I
is
just can't
amazing.
believe it. My brain has compressed my life to the point the distance is just amazing in time,
Well,
It's
been
amazing.
it's been my pleasure to work with you today,
Me
and I
too.
look
Thank
forward
you,
to doing
Mike.
it again.
I hope so.
And,
Thank you.
I tell you what, y'all.
I
it's-
appreciate what y'all are doing too, because I enjoy it, and I think a lot of people more people are finding out about it, and y'all are fulfilling a lot of needs in the community. And I think as y'all continue to grow, it's just a beautiful thing.
Well, thank you so much, and we're so glad to have you.
Thank you.
Well, y'all, it's 9:03. We're going to end today's show here on the Piper Beach Radio, the
I'm
Morning
out of my
Mayhem.
Coke.
Dollar Bill and Mike. Just remember, we'll be back on the air in the morning at 6 a.m.
6 a.m., an extra hour now.
or close, there too. And then we'll go to 9 so that we'll catch folks that don't realize that we've switched.
Right.
For I think we said this week, and then next week will be strictly 6 to 8. So
Oh, really? Y'all aren't going to stay on 3 hours?
I think that's what we said we're going to
Wow.
do. Or I don't know how long we're going to do it, but things change.
Whatever, yeah.
It's fluid around here, and
You just
I'm
wanna-
always the last guy to know.
Yeah,
I
y'all-
should be
well-
the first, but I'm the last.
No, I'm
Just
always.
kidding.
I'm always the last to know. But then again, I should be the last to know. 'cause
I guess it'll be Taylor and I tomorrow. Yep, Taylor and I'll be back on tomorrow.
Oh,
but
good.
So glad that you were here today, Bill. All right, well, let's go
fun.
wrap it up for
Thank you.
Morning Mayhem, Piper Beach Radio. Y'all have a great Monday.